Woo! Hey, Val. My one wish is that I could hear that song, rather, how that song actually goes. And thank you for the 7 and 3 months. Oh my gosh, 2 Femros in the same room. It's like all my name days have come at once. Bow time. Yeah, so apparently Argent Flower has turned into a Hooters. So we've got Rothgar here, Bouncer, Catboy. No, that's just a here. And 2 bunny girls, Hooters. And we have Catboy Manderville right over here. Thank you. Goose. This is a non-discriminatory Hooters, yeah. Oh my god, oh my gosh. Bunny boy, please cover yourself. Every time I stream Final Fantasy, I just like a little bit worried about TOS. Like, I'm sure it's fine, but man, it's like, whoa. Oh my gosh, it's Sonic. It's Sonic the Hedgehog. Look at him. It's Sargnarg the Hedgehog. How are you enjoying your FC turning into Hooters? Hey, you know what? If it brings in the guild, you know? I will be doing none of the work, but taking a cut of the profit, as all good bosses do. Jog my memory, what happened last time? So last time, we were in Kugane, and there was a conspiracy business that there was this thief that was basically stealing a lot of valuable items. And we were hunting down this thief, but it turns out he was stealing an item that was stolen from him, from his father. It was a sword that his father owned and was stolen from him, as well as a myriad other artifacts of culture that this guy stole and tried to sell. And he also tried to sell a dust that would mind control people. And it mind controlled Hildibrand's dad, Godbert Manderville, and we saved him. And then at the end, one of the guy behind it all threw the mind controlled dust at Greg Gilgamesh, also known as Greg, who then took Hildibrand, Nashu, and the businessman into another dimension, presumably into the first. And that's where we are now. And Godbert was completely unconcerned, like, oh, my boy, off on his next adventure into a black pit of doom. So that's where we are now. Let me know how the audio sounds as well in chat. If it's game audio's too loud, if I'm too loud. Either one. Are those Hooters outfits? Yeah, don't worry about it. Music's a bit loud? Okay, I can turn it down then. Like that, maybe. Then again, I have to wait until it's the time where it gets to the loud part. Because right now it's the quiet part of the song. That's good? Okay, I hope so. How am I today? I'm doing great. Feth the Bard. I started Final Fantasy XIV on Monday, so I went back and watched your tank healer DPS video. I love how that's Voxer you're picking on in some of the in-game clips. Yeah, that's great. Did Final Fantasy XIV actually make a Hooters costume? No, they did not. But there are so many different outfits in Final Fantasy XIV that you and the ability to dye them different colors that you can make something that looks akin to a Hooters outfit. Like so. Like this, the default color is white, but then they dyed it. No, they didn't dye it, but like this, the default color is white, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, see, it's white and shiny, but then they were like, I'm gonna dye it orange. And this used to be gender locked. Can we just say thank you, Square Enix, for gender unlocking these short shorts? Thank you, Square Enix. Thank you, Square Enix. They used to be female only, but they allowed men to wear them, and I'm very happy about that. I'm still hoping against hope that they will unlock the gender different outfits like that look different between genders. They're not the gender locked outfits kind of like these where it used to be that only female could wear them. I'm talking about like the Neo-ish Guardian set that looks different on different people. You know, like the male version is like a vest, whereas the female version is a dress, things like that. I'm not holding my breath, but I do have hope against hope that they will gender unlock those. Yeah, and the Nier outfits look from the Nier raids, not 2B's outfit. I'm talking about specifically the gear from the Nier raids look different depending on the gender you are. I'm still hoping, but I'm not holding my breath. Yeah. Still sad about that, but hey, I take what I can get. But yeah, today we're going to do the Endwalker Manderville quests because I love the Hildibrand quests. We didn't get one for Shadowbringers because they were taking a writing break, and also they were strapped for time for Shadowbringers, I'm guessing. Yeah, so we're gonna do the Endwalker one. The only question is, where is it? Hold on. Endwalker Hildibrand. How to unlock the Hildibrand? Blah, blah, blah. Where is it? Where is it? I'm looking. Oh, Rods at Han. Okay, awesome. All right, well, goodbye, Hooters. I have more important things, like investigating. Is there anything about Endwalker I should know? Well, this is going to be Endwalker spoilers, so anyone who hasn't finished Endwalker yet, this is going to be spoilers. This is your only warning. I don't think any of the stuff in Endwalker is going to be all that relevant, aside from maybe mention of the blasphemies, Dynamis, maybe, but the Hildibrand quest lines are so, like, kind of segmented and, what is it called? Independent from the MSQ, that really, the only thing that they're going to spoil is locations, really. Far removed from reality. Yeah, that's a good thing. This guy looks like that conspicuously inconspicuous person. Oh my gosh, he's dead! All right, here we go. The pungent Lalafell can scarcely conceal his excitement. Ugh. Wait, I know you! We met in Kugane! You're that stone-cold killer I asked to look after the love of my life. Oh yeah, this is the guy that was creeping on Nashu. What's that look for? Surely you haven't forgotten me. You and me, we had a moment, a connection. Not like the one I got with her, of course, but I know I left an impression. The creepy little bastard who smells like cheese and followed Nashu to Kugane after stalking her for over 5 years. Frankly, considering how many blows to the head I've taken, I'm lucky I haven't forgotten my own name. Yeah, it's like soft canon that the Warrior of Light has PTSD and brain damage. But I like to call him out. Remember in ARR when our little, like, dialogue choices were just like a sentence long? Or like 5 words? But now it's like an entire paragraph? Hey, there's nothing creepy about my love. It's as pure as the pristine waters of a forest stream. Fair point about the cheese stick, though. But enough about me. This is about Miss Nashu. Ever since she got sucked into that weird portal back east, I've been scouring the world for any sign of her. I was this close to giving up, but then, huzzah! I found her here in Radzatan. Normally I'd be happy to get back to playing the silent invisible guardian, but she seems pretty distressed by the plight of her inspector friend. He's here too, but laid up and showing no signs of walking anytime soon. My Nashu has been fashioning all sorts of medicines in hoping of rousing him, but to no avail. I mean, I couldn't care less if he kicked the bucket, but I hate seeing her like this. She's liable to work herself to death. So what say you? Will you deliver my dearest Nashu from her plight? You'll find her over at the High Crucible, no doubt slaving over in Alembic. And with that, I'll get back to cheering her from the shadows. You too, I guess. Now go quickly, save my beloved. Well, at least he's doing something for her. That's more than most creepy guys can say. I thought she followed Hildy with Greg. Me too, but I assume we're gonna hear about what happened. That's what I'm guessing. Bum 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 bum. I see that Zeke is all prepared. Nashu!
And that should do it. Now, to take this medicine and... Cool, Victor. It feels like it's been forever. Though definitely less than a year, I'm sure.
It's been 4.
What brings you to Radzatan? Enjoying a spot of adventure?
Oh wait, no, they were making a joke about the time bubble. That's right, they were making... Oh, that's meta. I love that. She's making a joke about how the 14 developers... They soft confirmed that From A Realm Reborn to Endwalker is about a year. Oh my gosh. But like a year in canon. But they're like, that's just, you know, whatever. Like, that's just time bubble nonsense. Yeah. Yeah, they're taking the piss out of themselves, basically, and I love that. They're basically poking fun at themselves. Yeah, definitely less than a year. Yeah, no, there's no way. I think most people agree, or most people headcanon that, like, A Realm Reborn to Stormblood to Endwalker, somewhere around 2 to 3 years, something like that. Even though the time at the first was well over a year for all the Scions, save the wall, yeah. Shadowbringers is the only one that I could conceivably see take, like, a very short amount of time. Like, I would guess that Shadowbringers is, like, over, like, a few weeks or a month. Just because of how it's paced. But, yeah, no way. With Stormblood and Heavensward and Endwalker, no way.
What brings you to Radzatan? Enjoying a spot of adventure, or perhaps...
I'm looking for Hildibrand. Victor dressed like he's about to sell me newspapers. Funny thing, this glam is... I named it Paperboy. This is my Paperboy glam.
Then you've heard. It's true. Inspector Hildibrand's gone into hibernation again, and... Ah, wait. You're giving me that look. That one that screams, what about the whole weird portal business? All right, since you silently asked. So, back on at the Ruby Sea. Remember how Greg got doused with dew prism and was forced to whisk us all far away?
Oh god, here we go. Are they going to resolve it off screen?
How that strange rift then opened up, which the inspector then got sucked up into, and how I followed him in after that. Well, after that, we all ended up in this bizarre place. Couldn't tell up from down, left from right, and so we wandered, lost and confused. Fortunately, Greg came to his senses and explained that we were in the interspectorial rift, and then used the same trick to bring us home.
I'm a little disappointed that they just resolve it just like that. But I feel like that's par for the course for Hildibrand, just to be like, that's the joke. Also, playing into the fact that Greg is so powerful that this Gilgamesh is not just another incarnation of Gilgamesh, like Sid or whatever. This Gilgamesh is canonically the same one in every Final Fantasy game. He just has the power to traverse dimensions.
Greg himself stayed behind, though. Something about a score he had to settle. Not sure what that was about, but hey, you know Greg. Anyway, we're back now, but the rub is that Inspector Hildibrand hasn't opened his eyes once. I know he needs his beauty sleep, but it's been an awfully long time, and we've got cases to solve. I've been trying my hand at apothecary stuff, seeing if I can't make something that'll get him up and moving, but nothing seems to work. But I think we're making progress. Me and Mr. Chupacabra from the Shaksuka concern, that is. You remember Mr. Chupacabra, right? Got sucked into the rift along with us, former evil mastermind. And not so bad once you get to know him.
Oh yeah, this guy. Oh, Jubraka, not Chupacabra. Pleased I am to meet you once more, and under less compromising circumstances. If I may correct our mutual friend, I am Jubraka, chairman of the Sajatra concern. Yeah, we ran into him during the Stormblood stuff. He tried to sell the mind-controlled dust and mind-controlled Godbert. Your distrustful and somewhat bloodthirsty glare is not unwarranted, but in my defense, who among us have not contemplated enslaving the rich and powerful to bend the world to their whim? I pray you forgive my poor joke, and allow me to assure you that after wandering the interdimensional rift for the sisters only know how long, I am a changed man. Naturally, I understand that words alone would not suffice to absolve me of my sins. Thus, since my return, I have operated a humble apothecary that caters to the needs of one and all. Furthermore, I made arrangements for Miss Nashu's workshop. Rest assured that I will spare no effort in helping her see Inspector Hildibrand awaken and return to full health. And with that, if you would excuse me, I must see to other business. Yeah, he's still evil.
Isn't he the nicest ex-villain you've ever met? Ah, but that's right. I just finished my latest medicine. I've got high hopes for this new recipe.
Is this my detective outfit? For now. Whenever it's like in the final act, I like to swap into my gentleman gear. Also, Paul327423, thank you for the 14 months. Shiny Lamp, Raven Warder, Angel of Pain, and Ending Wonderland, as well as Blue Phoenix. Thank you all for subscribing and resubbing. I suppose I ought to take a look at the Manderville man himself.
By all means, the inspector's resting in a room up in Karma. Awake or asleep, I'm sure he'll enjoy your company. Let's go!
Do 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 do. Hello. Yeah, I'll wait for the final act and like the moment of importance to swap on over to my gentleman gear. Onward. Wait, what? Explosives? Oh my god, Nashu's bombs. I didn't even notice that. Nashu's bombs are here. Alright, great. Nashu's delights, I should say. Nashu's great. Let's see. There she is. Oh no! The inspector! He's dead.
Isn't this room nice? Mr. Chupacabra's taken care of everything. Even paid the rent in full. Ah, but I'm distracting you, aren't I? You need to concentrate while you examine the inspector, yes?
Study the sleeping Inspector Hildibrand. You may move the camera. Alright. Hey guys, look, it's that Fire Emblem Fates minigame. Hildibrand's legs. The exquisite buckles of the stylish footwear are a design unique to House Mandeville. These shoes would almost certainly fetch a small fortune on the markets. We could sell his shoes. Rippling muscles bespeak impressive strength, while smooth skin suggests that only on the rarest of occasion does the man resort to violence. Yep. Troubling, his limbs are stiff and cool to the touch, as if the blood runs cold in his veins. Yeah, he would never strike another man unless only if necessary. Rugged features belie what is, at closer glance, the sensitive mane of a cultured gentleman. While he still breathes, he appears to be locked in a deep slumber. Have I ever considered cosplaying Hildy? Maybe the outfit, but not Hildy himself. I'm not nearly buff enough. The inspector's condition is disturbingly reminiscent of the scions who were summoned to the first for a time. He's in the first. We're gonna go to Norvryn to get him. Lucky for us.
Oh, finished already? Any theories as to what's wrong with the inspector?
We did see him during that one dungeon. Yeah, there's during the Hero's Gauntlet, I think it is. There's a chance you can see him. What's the first? The first is another dimension, a reflection of our world, this world, which is called the Source. A reflection during the Sunder. It's a long story. Basically, it's another alternate dimension. I suspect he may have been summoned to another reflection. We traveled there during Shadowbringers.
I see. I mean, I don't, but that's what you're supposed to say at times like this. I know that much. How do we wake him up?
I'll go get him. Well, lucky for you, boss, you can watch my Shadowbringers New Game Plus, where I go through the story of Shadowbringers, which answers a lot of questions.
Return his soul to his body. But where did it go? And what's it doing here?
Probably went to the first to become the Gentleman of Darkness, as you do. Oh, that's great. I think it's gone to another world wholly unlike ours, but still slightly like ours. A world of contrasts. I like this one. Probably went to the first to become a Gentleman of Darkness, you know, as you do. Because that's what we had to do. We had to become the Warrior of Darkness.
I see. All right. So, can you go there? Great! In that case, I'll leave the soul searching for you. I'm sure it goes without saying, but once you've arrived in this otherworldly world, look for a place that smells of mystery and intrigue, and chat with people there. That's standard agent of enquiry protocol. Oh, and since this is Inspector Hildibrand we're talking about, don't be surprised if you find him asleep, or having forgotten a thing or two. But don't worry, I've prepared my traditional medicine just in case. Don't hesitate to use it. And with that, do take care out there.
Is our medicine just our bombs? You can just go to Evil Heaven World. It's not Evil Heaven World, it's just Mirror Dimension. Alright, to the Crystarium. I can't believe there's a Hildibrand quest that takes place in the first. Freaking, oh my god. Y'shtola is spending all this time trying to find another way back into the first, and Hildibrand just goes there. Just cuz. Elidibus did bring him there. That is true, on accident. Why does Y'shtola want to go there? Because she met a very, very nice and wholesome Hrothgar BF, and he's got a big crush on her, and I think she likes him back. And she was like, you know, whenever all this war with Garlemald and Ascian business is all done, I'd be willing to try things out. Yeah, Runar. Runar's great. So, Y'shtola is trying to find a way back here so that she can fulfill her promise. to her big, fuzzy, himbo BF. Read your journal? Hold on, I can't right now. Welcome back, friend. I'd offer you a pint, but my barman's sense tells me that's not why you're here. Looking for, oh, what are they called? Hume? Yeah, they're called Humes in this world. So this friend of yours has gone missing. Sorry to hear that, but plenty of travelers pass through these parts. Could you describe the fellow to me? Hume, burly, wears a monocle, well-meaning idiot. He was wearing a tattered suit, most like. I like that one. Well-meaning idiot. Yeah. They have different names for the races in this world. So, like, instead of Mikote, they're called Meistels, or Mistels. Instead of here, they're called Humes. Instead of Elysian, they're called Elves. Yeah. Yes, that does sound familiar. Mind you, I didn't see him myself, but I do believe one of our bounty hunters spied such a man when you were all battling that horde of spectral warriors. Yeah, he was in the Hero's Gauntlet. Lalafels are dwarves, yeah. Hey, Kiat! She's in the quest. Kiat, come here for a moment. There's someone who wants to speak with you. She was part of the healer quest line. Oh wait, hold on, I gotta do this.
Is that so? Make it quick. This ale isn't going to drink itself. If it ain't Victor, what brings you back to our neck of the woods?
I wonder if she wears her helmet if you haven't done it. Probably.
Now that you mention it, I didn't see someone like that. Back there on the battlefield after you ran off to do more hero work. At first, I thought he was going to attack me like the rest of the spirit whatsits. But no, he just stood there, striking a pose, trying to scare or seduce me. Damned if I could tell. Still, he was glowing, and I wasn't about to take any chances. So I said, hey, piss off, ghost, and sent him packing.
Is that a Thor Ragnarok reference? I think it is.
Did he die, you ask? To which I say, what am I, a chirurgeon? Also, I've kept my mug waiting for long enough. Good talk.
Could it be the Warrior of Darkness? How'd you recognize me in my disguise? Oh, it's these guys! These guys that went to become adventurers. They were inspired by me.
I thought that was your voice, but was convinced my ears were playing tricks on me. It's good to see you again.
Yeah, these guys were all the way back in like 5.2, 5.3.
Didn't mean to eavesdrop, but we overheard you discussing the renegade poser. We've been searching for him for some time now.
There have been sightings in Lakeland, you see. Vernard and I have been tasked with getting to the bottom of it. We've little in the way of useful information, though. All we know is that he appears without warning and strikes a disturbing pose.
Oh, disturbing's a word to describe it.
He's not cause for any harm. If you discount the shock of a strange man gesticulating in your general direction, that is. Nevertheless, we're worried his behavior might escalate. Have you been tasked with apprehending the miscreant as well?
Not quite, Von Art. Victor has come back to track down a missing friend. I wouldn't call him a friend per se, but I too happen to be looking for a man prone to posing. No, he's, yeah, might be my friend. Yeah, I like to consider Hildibrand a friend. If the man you're looking for might be one and the same, then why not work together? Between the three of you, you're bound to have better luck.
It would be an honor and a great help. We were just about to leave to gather testimony as it happens.
Come and join us in Sullen when you finish here. We'll solve this mystery in no time.
Yeah, we're in the first right now. This is the first. You can notice, if you look at the map of Norvrand and the first, it is a one-to-one parallel of the map of Eorzea. Look, It's just that the rest of the world is covered in the flood of light. That's all this white stuff. So if you notice this, here's the island. This is so in the source, this would be Hildibrand, where Lenosha and Limsa Laminza would be. Up here, this is where, what's it called? Ishgard would be. Flood of light. Yeah, it's basically solidified light. Light covered the whole world because there was too much of it. Down here, this would be Ul'dah. The Crystarium is where Mordona would be. So if I go to Eorzea, let's see, the source. Look, it's like a 1-to-1. See, Lenosha's over here, Mordona's over here. Sorry, in the middle. You know, Ul'dah, all that stuff. Ishgard. They even got a big castle. See? It's a reflection. Parallel worlds. All right, what's it say? What's the... You pay a visit to the Wandering Stairs, where Glinard informs you that one of the veteran bounty hunters mentioned a suspicious individual. After listening to the account of said bounty hunter, the dwarf Giot, you are all but convinced that the man in question, you are subsequently approached by the former guardsman, who coincidentally enough are blah. United by a common goal, you and your comrades depart for Sullen, where the man was last spotted. Yeah, nothing extraordinary so far. Hey, it's Danny. What's up, Danny? All right, here we go. Looks like a bit of Alamigo area still there too. Yeah. Well, the equivalent of Alamigo in this world is what's it called? The deserty place. Actually, is it Alamigo or is it more Ul'dah? What's it called? Amareng. Is Amareng more like, regardless, like similar to Alamigo, they also had a massive military power. Thanalan? Okay. Yeah, Thanalan. Okay, yeah. But they were also rich. I guess something about the desert is just great for getting rich and having a massive military. Alamigo is next to Gridania in the source. Ah, that's true. Okay. My bad. Big mine energy, minerals. Ah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. I like that, actually. It makes sense geographically. Gold and oil, yeah. Trade is kind of the only option when you don't have many natural resources. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Hello.
Oh, that fellow. I saw him the other day on the way home from Clearmeat. I'd enjoy one too many libations after my bath and ended up wandering into the forest. Before I knew it, the sun was dipping low and the sky turning dark, and I was beginning to wonder if I'd ever make it home. Then I felt a gentle tug at my arm. And wouldn't you believe it? This odd-looking man led me out of the forest and sent me back to the road. I thanked him profusely, but he said nothing in reply, just struck this pose and walked off. Fairies!
Hello. Did I see him? You bet I did. I was crossing through the forest of the Lost Shepherd on my way to deliver fish to the Ostal Imperative. Out of nowhere, this odd man leaps out in front of me. I thought he was a bandit at first, but then he abruptly turned to the side, curled his neck, and put his fist to his head as if to say, I don't know. It was baffling. I ran when I realized he wasn't going to do anything else. Ah! A man posing at me intimidatingly!
He's just standing there, menacingly.
Why, yes, I saw someone like that when I was out picking mushrooms in the forest. He even spoke to me.
I was repulsed at first by his form, but he only wanted to warn me that the fell beasts lurk in the forest, and that I should be wary. Contrary to appearances, I'd say he was actually quite gentlemanly.
That's our man. Behold, a man.
White man jump scare. Ah! Finished questioning the locals, have you? Were you able to learn of anything?
Yeah, he's around here somewhere.
Not only has the poser caused no harm, he's even helped people.
So, he's a gentleman, albeit a suspicious one. Something of a contradiction, you might say. But there's no reason to doubt what we heard.
Everyone seems to encounter him in the Forest of the Lost Shepherd, right? Then that's where we'll look, shall we?
Valor. The non-binary Tyler.
Or Taylor.
I like gentle-thems. As like a gender-neutral gentleman. Gentle-thems. Ladies and gentle-thems. Here we are. Let me silence my phone real quick.
Well, here we are. But how exactly are we supposed to begin our search? These woods are, well, woods.
Got a plan, do you? Far be it from me to doubt the warrior of darkness. Show us what you've got in mind, and we'll back you up for the best of our ability.
A gentleman does rather than is. Well, a gentleman is rather than does. Perform the Manderville. Draw him out.
I'm a Manderville man, doing whatever a Manderville can. From the seas of Kurthus to Thanaland, Manderville man.
Trust me, it is irresistible. Yeah! Is this sacrilege? I feel because we're supposed to pass it down from only from Mandeville bloodline, right? I did the Mambo. Yeah, I wanted to do Mambo, but I think this one's more fitting. Hark! What familiar? Hold on. Hark! What familiar gentlemanly gyrations are these? I'll show you the Mambo afterwards. There he is. Oh my god. Oh my goodness. He is the gentleman of darkness. What? Oh no! The forgiven gentleman! No, he's a sin eater! Oh no! Sin eater Hildibrand! I already love this.
On your guard, it's a Sin Eater!
No, wait, that's no Sin Eater.
You're right. It's the Gentleman of Light! Gentleman of Light? Who is this Gentleman of Light of whom you speak? I am the Forgiven Gentleman, Devourer of Sins, Light Warden Extraordinaire! My gosh. You might occasionally moonlight as a zombie overlord, but trust me, you're a gentleman inspector. This is just like the zombies. Come on, Hildibrand!
Inspector Sin Eater! Inspector Sin Eater!
You're acquainted with this, gentleman?
Yeah, we go back a long ways. For better or for worse.
Right then. Clearly your friend has been through a lot, but still, how did he get in his head that he's a Sin Eater?
Is there no way to bring his memories back?
Oh, Nashu's Delights! The callback! This is how we got him to stop thinking he's a zombie. Come on, please. Yeah!
Explosives? We're trying to save him, right?
Yeah! Oh my god! Spike it! Spike it! Spike it! Ooh, it is volleyball. Set up. Okay, good, good, good. Come on, Spike. Hoo-yah! KO! Wicked White, we've killed him! Don't worry, I've been through this before. I was hoping that the Endwalker one would just be like callbacks and fan service, just like how Endwalker was. And I am already satisfied. I like how this is just routine for us now. Warrior of Ballin.
I say, Victor, I had resigned myself to Nashu's ungentle methodology, but you too, my brutish friend.
Yeah, the first hasn't experienced the adventures of Hildibrand quite yet.
But never mind that. I do not recall the world being quite so purple.
Nobody tell you, Stola.
Previously, I was with Nashu and Greg wandering the bizarre, shadowy realm known as the Interspectorial Rift.
Oh god, the echo. There is no Mandervilles in the first? That's right, we haven't met his reflection. I mean, not everyone has a reflection, but... Yeah, here he is! This is when Elidibus called in everybody during the Hero's Gauntlet. Like, at this moment, Grahatia is dying.
Where am I? Who am I?
Yeah, Giat! Summon him on accident? No, Elidibus summoned the Reflection's greatest heroes, and Hildibrand is definitely one of them.
That sickening light, that aggressive posturing. I know what you are. You're one of them, ain't you? Oh god, what you need is a good old-fashioned dwarven deckhand.
Oh god, no.
Piss off, ghost!
Dead. And he was just stuck there, I guess. Did his soul, like, manifest a body? Because they weren't supposed to have actual body. Oh, no, a Sin Eater. Oh, he was bit by a Sin Eater. Was he? Oh. I can't believe he just stayed in the first and manifested a body. Angels are demons, but also zombies. Yeah, I think if you want any answers, I think you'd best watch the VOD of my Shadowbringers. It explains a lot of this stuff, how it works. But yeah, they're basically demons, but of light. Damn, Hildibrand. Caked up. The one thing, oh my god, the one thing the Sin Eaters are scared of, Mandeville booty. Run for your lives! It's a Sin Eater! And so he thought he was a Sin Eater.
A Sin Eater?
Dude, why did we even fight, like, what's his name? Why did we even fight Vothri? Just bring Hildibrand. He can solo him.
Oh, be damned! I saw a vision of the man's past. No wonder he became convinced he was a Sin Eater.
That's right, all these people got the Echo as well. Elidibus gave them the Echo.
I saw it too. It was quite possibly the most ridiculous memory I've ever glimpsed.
Answer me, my faithful assistant. Where are we? And why is it so purple?
What is the Echo? The Echo is something that is established at the beginning of the game. I think you're just gonna have to go with it, boss, because there's gonna be more questions. If you don't know anything about 14 lore, none of this is gonna make sense anyway. And there's gonna be too many questions.
The first? The first of what? Are you telling me we've somehow traveled to an entirely different world?
You're essentially you're essentially asking the equivalent of, what are lightsabers? What are Jedi? What's the Force?
Good gods! To think that I have transcended the very boundaries of time and space! But worry not, my adoring fans. Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, will return to you forthwith.
Yes. He's back. Oh, what is that red star? Wait a minute. But yeah, boss, if you, like, basic questions like, what is the Echo? What are Sin Eaters? Those are established in the story, and I feel like you're kind of jumping in at a point where it's a continuation of a story that's been going on for a long time, and like, laws of the universe that have been going for a long time. So there's gonna be a lot of that. Say why he, thank you for 5 gifted subs. Thank you. But yeah, what Sin Eaters are, what's the Echo, what are reflections, all that stuff is established in the story, unfortunately. A soulful reunion.
Well, I've enjoyed what time I've spent in this far-flung first that I can remember. We should get back to our own world soon. Would you happen to know how we might go about doing that?
Where there's the Crystal Tower at the Crystarium.
Restore my soul with a spirit vessel. Say no more! Your cursory description was more than enough for me to grasp the concept completely. It is not unlike brewing the perfect cup of coffee, which means our task is clear. We require the services of a skilled soul sommelier.
I know a soul sommelier named Becklug. They like head scratches and playing ball.
Splendid! I see that even in this world you rub shoulders with the cream. Let us pay this Becklug a visit.
I'm not sure what you're plotting to do with souls, but if you require Becklug's assistance, we can help.
Aye, they've aided us time and again, and I reckon they'd do the same for your friend here. Come with us to the Cabinet of Curiosity.
I wonder if they will be able to fetch us some good information. In order to heal Hildibrand's wounds. What do you mean, boo? That's how you gain favor with the dogs. I forgot what they're called. They're dogs. I hope the Echo ends up being a major focal in the next story arc again, instead of just remaining a convenient plot device. I mean, the Echo's always been a convenient plot device. Not only plot device, but a convenient way to tell a character's backstory to us, where otherwise we wouldn't be able to know it diegetically. It's kind of always been a plot device. Where is he? Ah, there he is. If you're ready, I'll call for Becklug. I mean, it's gotten less of an important role as time's gone on, but it's kind of always been a plot device. Yeah, it's an exposition machine.
Ah, the genius soul sommelier. You've come highly recommended by Victor, and what an adorable little puppy you have.
Soul what? Puppy? I beg your pardon, but there seems to be some confusion.
Puppy, who is this imbecile, Victor? I have half a mind to make him dig a hole so I can throw him in it. But I presume he's a friend of yours, and one in need, no less.
It's a long story.
What? Another of your friends that needs to be sent back to the source? Have you not forgotten how complex and difficult it was to do it last time? Yet you waltz in here and ask me this favor with the air of one shopping for a new hat? His case is no different from the others, at least. He is present only in soul as they were.
Oh my god, I would love for Hildibrand to meet the Scions. That would be amazing.
We'll need another spirit vessel, of course. You don't happen to have one on you already, do you?
Oh god, we gotta find one. We gotta make one.
Entrusted to you by the Crystal Exarch, you say? If only he knew how you were using it.
Oh wait, we have a spare? Alright.
Fortunately, I have a epoxy on hand. We've been using it to treat patients at risk of transforming into eaters. But I suppose it's due for a change of pace.
He's met Urian J, has he? Oh, in 1.0. Okay. Well, that's different, though. We're using Grahas, I see. Oh, he gave it to us in Endwalker. Ah, that's cool. I forgot about that.
There is, however, one concern. In case I didn't make it clear before, the process can place a great strain upon one's soul. If he is lacking in resilience, there is a chance his will shall not survive, that his very essence will be rent asunder.
Oh, then he should have no problem. That's a risk I'm willing to take. After what he lived through, it would be implausibly anticlimactic for him to die like that. That's a risk I'm willing to take.
Ha! Victor knows me all too well. I assure you, my good sommelier, who is most certainly not a dog, you needn't worry for Hildibrand, Helidor, Maximilian Mandeville.
Yes, I get the distinct impression that the gods themselves could not kill him if they tried, and they have. Come along then, Hildy, I can't be bothered to remember that name.
1,000 thanks. Simply point me to the soul siphon, and I shall hop right in.
The rest of you can wait here. I promise I won't hurt him, no matter how much I might be tempted.
Thanks, Becklug.
You will be pleased to know that the process was smooth and uneventful. Honestly, I was hoping for more of a challenge. All you need to do is take his spirit back to the source and bring it in contact with his corporeal body. He should awaken immediately with his soul and memories intact.
If there's nothing else, Vonard and I should be getting back to our duties. It was a pleasure, Victor, if all too brief. I wouldn't pretend I understood even a fraction of what happened, but I'm glad I was there for it.
Till we meet again, rest assured that Thaler and I will be doing our damnedest to look after the people here in your absence.
It was nice to see them two again, especially after their goodbye at the end of Shadowbringers. Shame Hildy didn't get to explore much of the first for too long. Yeah, I assume they're just trying to wrap up that the end of the Stormblood thing and have him be like, all right, yeah, he came to the first, all right, he's done, to account for Shadowbringers because they didn't have a Hildibrand questline for Shadowbringers. Is that a name swap error? Oh, is it? Somebody mentioned something about paying attention to their name. Shadowbringers feels like home to me. Me too, because Shadowbringers is when I actually got into this game. So, I always have a soft spot for the first. Hildibrand wastes no time in incurring the esteemed Nomu's ire by mistaking them for Morin's pet canine. In spite of this faux pas, Becklug grudgingly agrees to help. Hildibrand's soul proves to be sufficiently resolute, and in short order, you find yourself in possession of a spirit vessel bearing his memories and vital essence. After offering thanks and farewells, you prepare to return journey to the source. Inspector's log.
Am I myself again, or am I? Well, I have come to realize the forgiven gentleman has no more than a figment of my imagination. The fact remains that my burly body and saintly soul have been separated from one another. I am trapped in this world of dazzling purple, known as the First, unable to reunite with my physical form. But I have not yet begun to investigate. A solution will surely present itself in due course. You may rest assured, my good friends and beloved family, that Hildibrand, Helidor, Maximilian Mandeville will not rest until he has been made whole. Looking none worse for wear, despite taking exploding projectile to the face, a moderately lucid Hildibrand declares his desire to return home to the source. Amazing. When did he get a hold of our journal? I guess when we weren't looking. He's writing in our journal now.
Or we took it, yeah.
You're back, and not a moment too soon. We'll have an emergency on our hands.
Oh, Danny is a witch doctor. Or a plague doctor, rather. Here we go. A bright, glowing spirit vessel that currently houses the resolute spirit of Inspector Hildibrand.
The Inspector's soul is in this, you say? That's great. But we have another problem now. The Inspector's body has gone missing.
Oh God! Oh yeah! I thought that was Hildibrand.
We went to the market to do some shopping, and when we came back, he was nowhere to be seen.
I double-checked that every door was locked before we left, but there's nothing to suggest someone forced their way in.
We've got a case on our hands, the case of an evaporating inspector. We must begin our investigation at once.
Wait a minute, what the hell is that noise?
Oh, Marcus Territory, thank you for the raid.
A weasel raid? Oh gosh! Weasel? You know what weasels are? They're very wiggly. Everybody, hold back the raid with your wigglers. Hello everybody, I'm playing the what's it called? The Hildibrand quest of Endwalker. Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker Hildibrand quest. So spoilers are abound, not only for Endwalker, but also this quest line. Hello everybody. Let's look for witnesses. Hildibrand's body is missing. Did I see anyone get carried out of the house, you ask? I was too distracted with stockpiling to take note of any shortcomings and goings. Any comings and goings. Sorry I couldn't be of more help. It's okay. Dubious individual. Yes, this is the most distressing situation indeed. This is like Spot the main character.
Tell me everything you know. The Inspector's life is in jeopardy.
Guess the important NPC. I didn't see anyone carry a person out of that house, no. But I did see a man carrying a particularly large sack, so heavy he strained to lift it. I didn't think much of it at the time, but now that you mention it, it was a bit suspicious. Yeah, is that little creeper around? Hold on. Let's see, is the Lalafell like creeping? Where is he? Where is he? He's got to be around here somewhere. No? Okay, maybe not. Sus. Suspicious. Sus. Oh well.
Ah, there you are. This man says he has vital information that will help us in our investigation.
A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Delian, Editor-in-Chief of the Thavnarian Truth, a monthly publication devoted to exploring unexplained and otherworldly phenomena on our isle. Your companion shared with me the news of your friend's disappearance, and I happen to know precisely who is behind this incident, but I fear you may not like the answer, for the kidnapper is not of this star.
Oh, there he is. Creeping behind the tree.
They come from the heavens.
Oh, there's another colored star. There it is.
From beyond the great expanse, they descend in curious saucer-shaped airships to study our world, our society, our buildings, our very bodies. You shudder, no doubt, as you realize of whom I speak. It couldn't be, you protest. Oh, but it could. And it is. Your dear inspector friend has been abducted by an alien. Oh, but he'll be fine, you assure yourself. After all, they just want to understand us better, you poor deluded child. That they do, but to what end? Why else? That they might one day take over our world.
You know, there are aliens on our world already. They're called dragons. You have heard of Midgard Stormer and Horace Felger and the First Brood? They're technically aliens, an alien spawn. You're literally ruled by Vritra, who is part of the First Brood. Anyway. This guy's like a flat earther. Yeah, Puddingway, the Loprits. They're literally from the moon.
What is worse, they plot to do so with the aid of collaborators, for the Garleans are in league with our would-be overlords, providing the aliens with vital information on our vulnerabilities in exchange for a position of power within their regime. The final days was also the work of these alien invaders, an attempt to sow chaos that our world would be easier to conquer. Blessedly, it was thwarted, if only by dumb luck, as those that did the thwarting were blissfully unaware of the true nature of the threat.
Dude, you guys, we're gonna go to Area 57 or whatever. What would be the name of an Area 51 equivalent in this?
I had hoped the setback would discourage the aliens from coming back, if not move them to abandon their ambitions.
Area 14? Yeah, there we go.
But it would seem that events have only emboldened them if they are indeed carrying out abductions here in Radzatan.
Oh yeah, Aziz's Law. Yeah, that's right. Aziz's Law. Fire a gun at Aziz's Law, you get arrested. Coincidence? What are they hiding in there, huh? They say it's just Allegan ruins, but who knows?
Even as we speak, your friend lays prone on a sterile bed in their base on the surface of the moon, where they poke and probe him with inscrutable instruments as their floppy ears wiggle with fiendish delight. But I've said too much. I must continue my investigation in secret. The fate of our world is at stake.
Yeah, I think this guy has been reading too much on the message boards. Oh no, that sounds awful. We have to go to the moon and save the inspector at once. I think he was a few materia short of a full meld. Oh my gosh. Oh, at least he got the floppy ears part right. So you don't think the inspector is somewhere getting probed by aliens? But if not them, then who's probing him? A man carrying a suspiciously large sack. That sounds promising. Maybe someone else can tell us more. All right. Hey, we got a Nashu follower. Someone up ahead may have something. Let's ask around. Yay! Nashu follower! This was a thing that they added in Endwalker, your NPCs will follow you around sometimes. If anyone can lead us to Inspector Hildibrand, it'll be that man with the large sack. I know it. Also, they put talking points on the map. They used to not be there, so you would just have to explore the entire map to find where they are. Pariga and his family are the nicest people. They've got such gentle eyes and long snouts, too. Longer than anyone I've met in Eorzea. She is such a bimbo, and I love her. In the more traditional sense of the word, in that she's dumb. The man with the sack. Indeed, I couldn't help but take note of him as he passed, trying so very hard to be inconspicuous as he was. He descended to Al-Zadal's path, and then went over to the fountain, where he met with the merchant, I believe. Such a heavy sack it was. My mind was racing with possibilities of what it might contain. That had to be our man, right? We need to hunt down that merchant. All right. Whoop. Whoop. Ow, my legs. All right, Nashu's fine. It's incredible, isn't it? It reminds me of a giant statue of Lord Godbert at the Gold Saucer. Once the inspector's back on his feet, we'll have to show him. What the hell is that?
Oh yeah. Oh no, another. Oh Jay the Bard. Another raid. Hey, what's up? Hey everyone, Jay the Bard. He's a really cool music person. He does cool music. In fact, Jay the Bard was awesome enough to give me one of my notifications that I use for $50 donations. Hold on, let me find it. Where is it? Fuck. Hold on. He's a really cool guy. Also, we're doing Hildibrand, the Endwalker Hildibrand quests, which are great, so spoilers are abound. This one. He gave me this one. Boop.
Toss a coin to your wiggler, or twitch out of plenty, or twitch out of plenty. Whoa. Toss a coin to your wiggler, or twitch out of plenty.
Yeah, it's great. Jay's awesome. But yeah, Jay, if you haven't caught up with Endwalker and or the Hildibrand questline, these are spoilers. So you have been warned. And thank you so much for the raid, and thanks for stopping by. You finally started Endwalker. Oh, enjoy it, man. It's great. Enjoy it. I think there are plenty of songs in there that you will like as well. It's fantastic. A man with a large sack. You bet I saw him. In fact, I sold him my chocobo. At first, I told him to get lost, that Bird and I go way back and so forth, but he was in a hurry, and his offer was very generous. If you're in my line of work, you can't afford to get too sentimental, and now I can buy a whole stable's worth of chocobos. Did he say where he was planning to go next? He was muttering something about having to get to Saltwind's Welcome in a hurry. Probably why he was desperate for a chocobo. It's a long way to go on foot, never mind the sack.
Did you hear that, Victor? We need to head to Saltwind's Welcome right away.
Who could this be? It's funny, recently I was just listening, while I was doing the art for today's announcement, I was listening to the Internet Historian video on Area 51. And I just love the tiny, it's like, aliens and they're living among us. Look up in the sky. Every one of those stars could be an alien.
Here we are, which means the mysterious man with the mysterious sack must be near. Keep your eyes peeled.
Also, I'm in Instance 3, I'm pretty sure, for those curious.
Over there! That man is definitely up to no good.
Oh? Wait, is this the guy that we had to slather? So, the funny thing, you know how we had to slather Hildibrand in salamander oil? Apparently there's an ARR side quest where you slather Godbert with salamander oil before you actually know who he is. And then in freaking Endwalker, there's also an Aura man just out in Thavnair that you also slather up in oil. Is this the one? I don't know if this is the same guy, but that'd be hilarious.
Maybe he's waiting for a co-conspirator. We should stay out of sight and watch what happens.
In fact, I might go do this after this is done. Which was great because Eric... Oh, it's that guy again! Eric did all the side quests in an area before he did, like, any MSQ stuff. So he got to do that before he did the Hildibrand quests. It's great.
Oh, Mr. Chupacabra. But he expressly told us that he had put the evil schemes behind him. He wouldn't lie, would he?
A unique looking ring. I'll have to do it.
The goods appear to be none the worse for wear. Very well, your payment as promised. My client will be most pleased.
He could just be bringing him back to Godbert. What? What the hell?
Oh no! Is he going to feed the inspector to that giant sea monster?
It is an honor and a pleasure always, Dr. Luge. I have faith this specimen will meet with your satisfaction.
So, this is the one to be the strongest, most resilient in all the world. The Manderville man.
None other. He has weathered countless explosions and a multitude of martial abuses, including a devastating suplex I myself did witness. It is even said he survived a journey to Dalamid itself, and survived the Lesser Moon's fall with nary a scratch. Most fortunately for us, he has fallen into a coma from which I am assured he will never awake. You are free to do with his body as you please.
Even the mightiest of warriors cannot fight while asleep. Those meddlers may have gotten the better of me and my beautiful boy in the Tower of Babel, but my next child will be all but invincible. With this body, mine to command, I will exact a bloody, glorious revenge.
What? Tower of Babel? Was he just one of the Magitech pilots? Like,
Forgive my boldness, Dr. Luge, but when might I expect the rest of my payment? I have debts that might be repaid.
he was the second boss, I see.
Worry not. With the Telophoroi gone for good, the vast fortune of House Brutus is entirely at my disposal. I shall shower you with wealth, my loyal minion.
Oh, he got punched by the big guy, I see.
And gladly shall I accept the spoils, Doctor, and resolve never to renounce my wicked ways, for surely this time I will suffer no comeuppance.
Oh, is Luge a previous Final Fantasy character? Gotcha.
No! Not you! Not now! Bah! I must away!
Oh no, smoke screen. Oh no, Hildibrand! Oh wait, Dr. Luge, my payment. There he goes. Oh, there's no way I could catch up with them. Wake up, Inspector! Yeet! Yeah, we didn't fight him, we fought Barnabas. Yeah, the big, like, Frankenstein monster style guy that, like, punched him out of the arena. He's awake! Oh. Oh my gosh, he's asleep.
Could it be? The world's no longer purple!
No, it's still kind of purple. The mountains.
Stop moving, damn you! You're supposed to be comatose centerpiece of my glorious revenge!
Oh. What did you do? Oh no. Oh god. Oh, it's done. Okay, well. Mommy! To the moon. You can't breathe up there, Hildibrand. You're in space. Oh no, he's not going to the moon. Not again! Oh my god. Press some buttons. Beep boop beep boop pop. Oh god, it's making it worse. The animators must have had a lot of fun with this. Oh! Alright, now hop off. No! Ding. Oh my god. Oh, thank you, guards. Hildibrand saves the day again.
I say, that was a rather dramatic series of events to awaken to. But more importantly, after a brief detour, I find myself in my own world once more. My most sincere apologies for causing you such trouble, my loyal assistants. But rejoice, for Hildibrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return.
Oh no, aliens! Oh no! It's an alien! Actual aliens! Swim, Hildibrand! Swim for your life! For your gentlemanly life! Oh god, it's working. No, the dodos! Not sure. Are we gonna help him? Oh. Oh my god, are we gonna have to go to Ultima Thule? Oh wait, Inspector!
I knew it. An alien abduction. And to think I would have the chance to witness one with my own eyes. This month's issue of the Thavnerian Truth shall be the best one yet.
And just when I thought we'd finally had the inspector back, off he went, and then came back, and then floated off again.
What are that alien guy's glasses? I don't know, man. His getup is all whack. Come along, Major General.
I know it's not the first time he's taken to the skies without warning, but still, it's always a little disappointing. Still, there's no use crying over flying inspectors. Let's return to Razathan.
It's hot in here. I'm gonna turn on my air conditioner. 1 sec. Just put that towards me. Pardon, you're gonna hear some white noise for a little while. It's just so hot in here. I'm also gonna check the AC outside after. Boy, that's loud. Sorry, 1 sec. It's so loud. Alright, I'm gonna turn this off.
Oh, Inspector, why have you left me again? And where have you gone? Oh, this won't do. Get it together, Narshu. There's a case to be solved. Just you wait, Inspector. Your loyal assistant Narshu will solve the mystery of your disappearance. Again! And don't worry, Victor. As soon as I have a new lead, you'll be the first to know. Till next time!
All right, here it comes. Oh, meanwhile, in Mare Lamentorum, the moon? Oh, it's the Sabbatenders. It's the alien Sabbatenders. The tall boys, the skinny boys. I think. It's gotta be, right? Oh no! Aliens! Oh. Whoa! Whoa! Nani? Oh, it's adorable! Look at the squiggly eyes! Come on, give us the intro. Aww. Oh my god, this music. With astute mind and explosive panache. Oh, it's got lyrics. Wait, this is the Hildibrand theme. Remixed. Oh, that's great. Wait, no, that's it? No! Oh, no! Do we have to wait for the next one? Oh! Oh, I thought it would be the whole thing. Oh, no! Ah! Oh, man, I thought it... I don't know why I thought it would be the whole thing. 6.25? Oh man, that's gonna take months. You should do the Omega quest line. That's true, that does open me up to do other quests, and I've been meaning to do the Omega quest line, so that gives me the opportunity. But oh man, I was looking forward to doing the do the Beast Tribe quest? Nah, I don't want to do the Beast Tribe quest. Welcome to being current. Oh, I hate it. I miss being able to binge things because I was behind. Hey, Graha, how you doing? Oh man. But yeah, I'm gonna do the Omega quest then. Or the Tataru quests. Ooh. That's it for all the Hildibrand content? No, well, for now. So apparently this is how it worked before, is they would release each chapter of Hildibrand content over the course of several patches. So, yeah, this is how it normally worked before. I just was able to binge them because when I did do them, they were already all fully out. Do you have to have done the Omega raids for the Omega quest? Yes, I think so. Luckily, I did recently go through the Omega raids New Game Plus, so I'm currently fairly recently refreshed of the story. So, let's see. Omega quests and somehow further Hildibrand adventures. Okay, Old Charlian and the Bespectacled Technician. Okay. To Charlian. Also, thank you, Rocker Hulan, for the bits. Thank you. Levier Philanthropy. So that's part of the turn-in quests for Ameliance, that you can dress her up and stuff. I've never done those, so that'll be new. Heartless Hypothesis? Is that the one? That's a different one? Okay, never mind. What's it called? I'll just go to the harbor. I am in instance... Oh, it doesn't say. Apparently Old Charlian is not instanced. Heartless Hypothesis. Okay, cool. Cool. Thanks, chat. There we go, Bespectacled Technician. The Bespectacled Technician is enjoying the refreshing harbor breeze. That's blown the cobwebs away. Time to return to work. Goodness me, look who it is! How incredibly serendipitous that I would run into you of all people. I was part of the team which designed the Ragnarok, you see, and we've recently begun the process of combing through the vessel's flight log data. The primary objective of your journey to Ultima Thule was to save our star and countless others, of course, but it also provided us with an invaluable trove of information, records of places and events we could only dream of. Your safe return gave us much to be thankful for. And as so it happens, one of those things we pulled from the log was a transmission of unknown origin, something the ship must have intercepted during its flight. We believe it to be an audio message, but even our most talented linguists have been unable to decipher the language. For a while there, it seemed we must accept defeat, but today may be the day we finally solve the mystery. If you were so inclined, would you care to come along to Thomazine? It seems fitting to have one of the Ragnarok's original passengers present to hear the history being made. Alright, I'm gonna retitle the stream real quick. Let's see. Dashboard. I'm gonna retitle the title of the stream. 6.15 side quests. All right. It wasn't Hildibrand, was it? Bespectacled technician. They intercepted Hildibrand on the way to Ultima Thule somehow. If there was ever a proper use of the term somehow in reference to something happening, it would always be applied to Hildibrand. Ooh, Peopled Mage, thank you for the 5 months. Alright, back into my original glamour. Somehow, Palpatine has met Hildibrand. Ah, there you are. This is where we're to meet the engineers from Garlean Ironworks, who, I'm told, potentially hold the key to unlocking our mystery transmission. They should be along any moment.
Sorry we're late. We had trouble finding the right... God, is that you, Victor?
Is it Sid? Oh no, it's Biggs. Not Wedge, though.
Yes, the man himself. I ran into him at the harbor and thought if anyone deserved to hear this message deciphered, it was Victor Quibbles.
No argument here, but bugger me if you don't have a knack for being in the right place at the right time. This actually has more to do with you than you think, so please do stick around.
I don't think that was what his accent was supposed to be. Shall we pick up where we left off, then? It's more like a piratey accent, because he's a sea wolf. As I was saying, we think this transmission the Ragnarok intercepted is a message of some sort, albeit in a language entirely alien to our ears. Alien being the operative word here. Considering we received the message out in the great expanse, its origin was likely some distant star. Unfortunately, our list of off-world allies is presently rather short, thus we were resigned to the fact that the meaning behind the message would remain beyond our understanding. One of my colleagues, however, refused to give up. She remembered the Ironworks engineers who had been so helpful in the construction of the Ragnarok and turned to them for insight into our seemingly impossible problem.
Do you know what Wedge said when he heard what was going on?
Yeah, it's more like that.
We should have Omega listen to it. I bet it can tell us what the message means. Not the Omega you beat into the rift, of course. He's been talking about the toy that trundles around with Alpha, the little model we made.
Isn't Biggs also Garlean technically? I guess nationality-wise, he might be Garlean, I'm not sure. We don't really know a lot about Biggs and Wedge's origins.
We originally designed it to follow a chosen target and not much else, but I've seen it act in ways that, well, it's like it has a mind of its own. Then I got to thinking about those documents your lot sent the chief, the full report on the final days.
Clackarus, thank you for the 22 months.
In the part about Omega's civilization, it said their people discovered how to convert the minds into data and store it outside the body. Timing was what it was. Timing being what it was, I wonder if Omega didn't somehow transfer its consciousness into our model right before you put an end to the real one.
Yep, yeah, that's been confirmed, that's the real Omega. He and Wedge fled with Sid after the Baja incident, I see. Conscripts, but defected with Sid, yeah.
So, in an effort to get to the bottom of that, we, as well as take a crack at this indecipherable message, we decided to make some modifications. With help from Labyrinthos technicians, we've upgraded our toy Omega with a fully functional vocalization module.
Oh, I'm sure that won't go horribly wrong. Hold on. Is it gonna sound like the Omega from the... There was a April Fool's advertisement of it's kind of like one of those things like Siri or Alexa, but it was called Omega. Hold on, here, I'll share it. It's wonderful.
Wow, what is it?
Something very special.
Ooh, what'd you get, hun?
This is Omega.
Wow, what's it for?
It's an ancient primal being of unimaginable power. It's traveled between dimensions for thousands of years. And it's a smart speaker, too. Omega, what was the score of the Warriors game last night?
Games are for the weak. Combat is the only true test of victory or defeat.
What?
114 to 98.
Hey, Omega, why do we have muscles?
Muscles are used by organic beings to run away from battle.
Why?
Because organic beings are weak and fearful.
Why?
Because they are inferior.
Why?
Omega, play romantic music.
Oh.
Calculating.
Chicken tender!
Omega, add executive presentation to my calendar for Friday at 11 a.m.
It is 99.9% likely for your presentation to fail. In order to protect you from that tragedy, I shall delete all copies of your presentation.
Undo! Undo! Are you
Omega, tell me a joke.
You were adopted.
That's so great.
God.
Ha, ha, ha.
Omega is like part of the family.
Omega, turn off the TV.
Engaging wave cannon.
Omega by Square Enix.
Oh, that commercial's great. So maybe I should give it that voice. We played the transmission for Omega, and I think it's ready to share. Alpha! Are you in there, Omega? Affirmative. If by Omega you are referring to my consciousness rather than my entire former chassis, existing inside this considerably smaller frame. Prediction. You will formulate several misconceptions. These I shall preemptively dismiss based on the following facts. 1. Vocalization module aside, this chassis remains unmodified from the design constructed by the engineers, Biggs and Wedge. I evaluate its combat capabilities to be on par with a mortal infant. Haha, baby! 2. The mechanisms which allowed me to perform an emergency transfer of my consciousness was installed in my previous body. With the deconstruction of that body, I am rendered incapable of replicating such a feat. Should this current material form be destroyed or cease to function, all cognitive awareness or presence I possess will also be lost. Wow, so they're just a baby. Yeah, they're mortal, essentially. Conclusion. I present no threat to you or any star or your star, nor do my projections indicate the necessity to inflict harm. In the fraction of a moment before my annihilation in the rift, I re-examined my directives. If I am to fulfill my purpose as an evolving construct, then I must continue my journey for improvement for as long as I exist. I must acquire this heart of yours, this strength of soul. I like that Omega is basically Legion from Mass Effect, where it's like, I see organics are able to beat robots, therefore organics are superior, so I wish to be organic. I kind of like that. For all its calculations and numbers and math, it still can't beat the true unpredictability and unmeasurability of humans. So therefore it wishes to be. Oh, there you have it. And it's not wrong about its combat capabilities. It'd be more likely to damage itself than the thing it was trying to attack. I imagine Omega attacks like turtles, where it like shrinks its head into its shell and then just bashes his headbutts. Just But let's not forget the reason we brought you here in the first place. What about that transmission they played for you? Could you recognize the language? Affirmative. It was transmitted in Pan-Galactic Basic. Pan-Galactic Basic? A common language in comparatively extensive usage throughout the worlds we have conquered. Which means you can finally tell us what the message said. That is a language you understand, yes? I understand it perfectly. I am fluent in over 6 million distinctual dialects codings. Beep. My cooperation in this matter, however, is conditional. Elaboration. Your chief Sid utilizes the floor as part of his unorthodox filing system, which allowed me to scan the reports on the final days. Oh, Sid forgets to pick up his papers, and he leaves them laying around. I am aware that my home star, the one you call Alphatron, was obliterated in the aftermath of Sir and Meteon's meeting. Of Sir. Oh, the last remaining, like, Omatron, like, general. Yeah, we called him Sir. Sigma 4, yeah. The now existence of Dynamis has not previously factored into my projections, but I now comprehend the concept, in theory. The one in charge, yeah, sorry. Because the other Omicrons exist. Because it was the last one in charge, and it basically just chose not to do anything. What fails to compute is why the Omicrons were not immune to its effects. Dynamis should have no influence on a race which possesses no heart. But it does have influence on beings of ether, because they're not dense with ether like the ancients. And yet, Sir expressed to Meteon a desire to cease existing. Illogical. Looky, he said! He said! I must pursue this anomaly further until the full equation becomes clear to me. I must analyze all the elements of the final days and deepen my understanding of the heart's intangible properties. To expedite this process, I require an external interpretation of those sections of the report which continue to produce errors in my calculations. I request the assistance of Victor Quibbles, as one who experienced the ravages of ultimate despair on multiple fronts, and displayed immeasurable heart in engineering my defeat. He is the optimal choice to fulfill this role. So, we either agree to your conditions or you tell us nothing. I'm sorry to put you in a spot like this, Victor. If you have the time and the patience to spare, we'd all be grateful if you could humor the toy's demands. I am not a toy. As Alpha dozed off, I suppose the subject was a bit technical. Bloop. Rouse yourself, Alpha. You must listen to and consider these matters, even as I must. Aww, he's a sweep. Why don't you take a trip out of it? You know, actually visit the place that has, things Omega wants to ask about. It'll make it, explaining stuff easier. And for one, and also keep Alpha awake and alert. He's so precious. Yeah, make it a trip. Alpha likes trips. Ah! Hello, Danny. I see you have chosen the mutually beneficial option. Logical. Setting aside the matter of Sir, there are 3 elements of the report on which I desire clarification. The first of these concerns is the progression of the final days in Radzatan. I recognize no pattern in those who succumbed to the transformation and those who did not. That's a bit of a trek if you want to chat with the locals. How about we lend you an airship? We do not require such outmoded technology. Victor's teleportation spell is the most efficient option for long-distance travel. This chassis is a model, essentially a toy, and Alpha, despite his organic composition, is indistinguishable from a stuffed doll. Conclusion: we qualify as material possessions. Pick us up, as you can teleport the three of us to our destination. He knows we have them as minions. Hold him gently, like a hamburger. Like hamburger. He is very, Omega's very hamburger shaped as well. Ambega. Hamburger. Please do not eat Omega. I think, you know what? I think it's fitting that while we are on this quest, there we go. OMG. Look at them. They're the same size. Beep. Sensors indicate we have arrived at Radzatan. Objective: identify factors for resistance to involuntary transformation. Hypothesis: unaltered visitors of the final days will display significant strength of heart. Confirming this theory will require the cooperation of live subjects. Where is the ward designated for residential habitation? Oh, there's the food area. Understood. Comma. Set as our sub-destination. Please take the lead and select the subjects we are to interview. Oh, yay! I have 2 Omegas. I have 2 Omegas. Look at them go. Okay, maybe I don't need to have an Omega out if I can just have this one following me. Oh, that's great. Double Alpha. What do you guys have to say about this? Look at him go. Look at his skitter. Oh, Midi. Yeah, let's bring out Midgard Stormer. The gang's all here. A flag minion. I do not have a flag minion. Do not. Oh, you don't have to. Oh, thank you so much. Hold on, let me give you something in return. I feel like I should give you something. Here's a treasure map, I guess. There you go. I want to give you something of value. Oh, you already have one. Okay, oops. Here, I will give you, herbs. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, that's extremely generous. Oh, it's a cute little doe. A little reindeer with a huge appetite. I appreciate it. Que? Alpha chirps enthusiastically, apparently unfazed by the prospect of climbing the stairs. But Omega... Warning. Please avoid stairs wherever possible. My projections indicate high risk probability for accidental slippage leading to catastrophic structural damage. Stepped inclines also increase my energy consumption by 63%. In mortal terms, they tire me out. Taking into account the difference in individual limb length, the design is inherently flawed. A convenient step height for one is an exhausting trial for another. Were I to oversee the civic design of this settlement, I would construct a sloped conveyor belt which enables automatic traversal, 0 personnel energy expenditure. Omega's like, this is not wheelchair accessible. Yeah, look, see, he's able to do it. Just fine. Thank you so much, Nadia. That's extremely generous of you. I appreciate it. I can't climb stairs. I keep saying he. I keep defaulting to he because I think of a masculine voice. But, for all intents and purposes, Omega has no gender. They are a robot, a construct. The gang's all here. Yeah, Omega is literally gender fluid to the point where they were actually fluid in the final fight. Hello. Are you a traveler? Please, if you have a moment, I could use an outsider's perspective. You see, I was one of those who sought to escape the madness plaguing the world by fleeing to the moon. Not that we ever went in the end. So here I am, recently returned to from Garlean, except now things are strained between my sister and I, since she chose to stay and I chose to leave. I asked her to help me find work, and she suggested I look somewhere that isn't Thavner, as if I wanted to abandon my home. It makes me so angry. Blip. Your point is unclear. You elected to relocate to the star's satellite, thus your relative now perceives you as in a negative light. Your sibling's judgment is in error. Based on the information made available to Hanish citizens, your decision to withdraw to the moon was both logical and correct. Conversely, the decision to remain in Radzatan, despite the low probability of survival, defies explanation. Perhaps her reasoning pathways are faulty. That's right! I'm not quite sure what you're saying, but I'm right, aren't I? Or so I like to think. The problem is I understand why my sister feels this way. He is completely unfazed by the toy speaking to him. I almost decided against going myself. Even then, I wasn't sure that leaving behind everything I loved was the right choice. With the way it all turned out, I mean, that's what makes us human, Omega. We have emotions and aren't always logical.
Oh, hello again. You're the one who came to ask me questions about Khazad-dûm. I'm happy to see you looking well after that that unpleasantness. I remember the burning skies and hearing the screams, but truth be told, I'm still confused as to what actually happened. I only know it wasn't unusual for entire families to go missing. Many of my neighbors' houses lie empty even now. Khazad-dûm's place is one of them. He had no close relatives to speak of, and I heard that it was members of the consortium who came to remove his belongings. What a terrible thing to have to do. Blip. Terrible. Khazad-dûm's passing was recorded in the report. Clearing out his domicile and readying it for new habitation seems an appropriate reallocation of resources. Dear me, what a clever little contraption. But of course I'm not against making use of his quarters, that would be wasteful. It's simply that Khazad-dûm was always such a vigorous person. All that passion, all those dreams, suddenly gone. I feel the same sorrow for everyone who is lost, seeing the remnants of those vibrant lives packed away in boxes. That is what I meant by terrible. Yeah, Omega, like, we can still do the logical thing and still be sad. Is this what Omega's gonna learn? He's gonna learn about emotion? Oh yeah, that's right, Midgardsormr sometimes stands on your shoulder and breathes a little blue fire. He's adorable. He only does it when he feels like it, though. Hey, don't I know you? Yes, after the beasts were taken care of, you told me to join everyone in the square. Thanks to you, I was there when Vritra gave his speech, and I found out who Varshan really was.
It's a shame we don't get to play like we used to, but Mama says Vritra has been busy putting the city back in order.
Oh, Vritra played with the kids when in the Varshan body. That's adorable. Vritra's the best. I love Vritra. He's so good. He's a great leader.
Maybe I could work for him one day when I'm a man grown.
Vritra, Midgard-Sormer's offspring, yes? And this child wishes to put himself at the worm's command, that he might make his own contribution to society. A pattern emerges. I predict that the Hannah survivors are those who had ingested Vritra's blood and become his draconic minions. Though dragons were no match for our civilization's might, their combat capabilities are not to be underestimated. It is unlikely they would experience emotions of dread or uncertainty, as exhibited by lesser beings in times of undue stress.
Dragons? I'm not a dragon, and I've never ingested anyone's blood either. Ew.
You are not of Vritra's horde, so you possess no hidden means to fight off the beasts. What of fear, then? You were frightened?
Yes, I was frightened. I just hid and hoped they wouldn't find me. At least until he told me it was safe to come out.
Victor, I require a moment to process this input. Let us move apart and discuss our findings. Yeah, this questline is literally Omega learning about emotions. Also, thank you, Helen, for keeping the rain out of my hair. Bleep. Processing data. Evaluating hypothesis against accumulative evidence. I offered an optimal analysis of each subject's testimony, yet each time their response conflicted with my assessment. Without identifying the root cause of this conflict, I will be unable to properly define what constitutes strength of heart. Perhaps the heart you seek lies in the conflict itself. Perhaps we should continue questioning. Perhaps the matter is beyond you. I don't think it's beyond Omega. I think Omega can understand, but I don't think Omega can ever feel it the same way we do. And I want to specify the same way we do. I'm sure Omega can experience something similar, but not to the same extent. That is not to say that I think it's lesser or anything, but yeah. Yeah, it's something deeper, something not explainable. An interesting observation. It is possible my base criteria is in error. In which case, it is imperative that I continue this learning process and repair any fundamental misconceptions. Well, that's the thing, Omega, is like, there will always be misconceptions because there's no hard evidence of what strength of heart is. Next, I wish to interact with an individual who endured similar circumstances to Kalzal prior to his transformation. Are you acquainted with any local merchants who had dealings with him? Varshan. Or not Varshan, oh. Jinbaha of Ruveda Fibers. Acknowledge. Subdestination set. I don't remember that one. Is she the one that made us go on that, like... Is that the person that made us go on the, like, really short side quest of, like, get those boxes? I mean, they might have been. Oh, sorry, Midgard-Sormer's in the way. Oh, it's Vox, right. Thavnarian Voxer. Voxer's long-lost brother from Radzatan, yeah. Halt, Victor. Do not proceed beyond the fence. In this body, birds of that size represent lethal, unthinking threats. They will peck my casing apart, searching for meat that does not exist. Conversely, Alpha can correctly identify my absence of nutritional content. If only he would apply the intelligence towards maintaining a regular feeding schedule. Poor habits adversely affect his mobility. Alpha pecks him sometimes. That's adorable. Alpha looks back and forth between Omega and the Hamsa, showing visible concern. Aww. Alpha doesn't eat sometimes. Omega needs upgrades, yeah. Hello, not Voxer.
Well, look who it is. I must thank you again for your help in moving those textiles. Recovering from those tragic events had been difficult, of course, but with everyone pulling together, we've managed to get things back up and running. Jinabaha, I come with questions relating to that tragedy, specifically your survival of the final days. Although you are similar to Kalzadal in many respects, he succumbed to the transformation and you did not. Why? What is the critical difference between you and him? What? I am not sure I'm sure I don't know. I'm not especially brave or courageous, if that's what you're asking. Perhaps being focused on protecting our workshop kept me from spinning into a panic. Still, I imagine Kalzadal would have been feeling the same sense of responsibility. Perhaps the weight of it all is what invited his demise. You were of the You were of the same mind, resolved to the same purpose. Yet your strength of heart, of spirit, was not equal. If merely emulating individuals is insufficient, then some other unseen factor must be involved. Not to interrupt these deep philosophical musings, but do you think I could ask you a small favor? There's a man by the name of Nashvan who's been helping us out here while he gets back on his feet. I have a feeling he'd benefit from speaking with you. Leave by the eastern gate. You should find him just outside, organizing some new inventory items. All right over there. Little Midi sitting on my shoulder. There we go. That was the one that I was thinking. I was thinking of her originally. The equipment being manufactured here, it is worn to perform specific duties, yes? Conceptually, it seems analogous to our practice of switching frames to better serve our mission objectives. I, for example, did not begin existence with the Omega model. I was originally supplied with a standard issue Omicron chassis, serial number M017. On this world, the alphanumeric combinations would be considered my given name. Such designations are drawn from our nearly infinite register of celestial bodies to avoid the possibility of duplication. Furthermore, the cluster known as M017 is better expressed in your language as the Omega Nebula, the same word I used to introduce myself to your kind. Though you associate Omega with the advanced weapon construct, it is also my name, and I see no reason to change it no matter which frame I inhibit. Aww. Omega's trans! Quit! Alpha puffs out his chest proudly, seeming to imply that his Ironworks uniform is the best attire anyone could wear. It's true. It's true. Surprisingly human of you, Omega? Yeah, Omega has a sense of independence and individuality. Omega wishes to remain the name Omega no matter what chassis they're in. M017 is a character in Ultima Thule. Well, it's a... Oh, God. I'm just gonna leave that guy there. It's a model of which they, many were produced. So I would assume there's a M017. I assume there's several of them. That's all our orders accounted for, and everything looks to be of good quality. Kamala would be pleased. You were with the Scions. You were there.
Oh, M017 is of the 17th of the M series. I see, I see. So I guess another Omicron... Wait, no. So that must have been original Omega, right? That's a memory of old Omega. Huh. Because, like, those... Everything in Ultima Thule is not real, right? They're just, like, manifestations of their feelings made real by Dynamis. So that was a recreation of OG Omega. That's pretty cool. Yes, I'm sure of it. I'll never forget the day. You and your friends helped us escape when the people began changing into beasts. Oh, this is the guy whose son got squished. Oh, I recognize his face. His son turned into a thing and got squished. Oh, God. My own son. He was afflicted. Then that huge monstrosity loomed right over him, and I remember my heart turning to ice, freezing in place. The satrap came in my aid, but then he too was gone. Yeah. That was fucked up. But Graha saved him. Yeah, there he is. The memories run together in my mind, like flashes from a nightmare. Only the words of your comrades still ring clear. I repeat them over and over like a mantra as I fled for my life. You must run, for their sake and your own. Yeah, he went full Exarch mode. It all seems so surreal, which was probably what saved me from the transformation. The truth of it didn't begin to sink until the worst of it was over. I have not the words to describe how I felt then. The sorrow, the overwhelming sense of helplessness. I may still be wallowing in misery if not for my old friend, Jinabaha. I lost my will to work, and he encouraged me with kind words and odd jobs. Now somehow, I live again. I am thankful to him, to the courageous Ahewan, and to you. If you see your comrades, please let them know their efforts were not in vain. You said you lost your will to work. This signifies a cessation of efforts to maintain basic life functions, yes? What changed to extract you from that stagnation? An offer to work from Jinabaha should mean little to one without the desire to accept it. Was it some manner of mortal instinct, a primal need to survive and thrive? Instinct? No, it wasn't that. If anything, my instincts were telling me to lay down and welcome an end to the pain. Every day I think of my boy's final moments. I think of how scared he must have been, how it must have hurt, and I want to scream my throat raw. The satrap, too, still haunts my dreams. I see him being swallowed whole and jolt awake in a cold sweat. But something changed when Jinabaha came to me. I looked up and saw that even without my son, or Ahewan, the world around me continued to turn. And because the fact grieved me so, I knew it fell to me to live on and remember them. Strange, isn't it? What drives me to rise in the morning is the very sorrow which once crippled me. Finally made it to a Jocat stream. Welcome! Welcome, Fallen 1121. Now I really must return to my work. To lose this job after everything I said would be a poor jest indeed. May the sisters keep you well. Oh, he's the guy whose son got squished. Well, that's how I use the word. Maybe I don't use good words sometime. I don't word good because English hard when talk. Sorrow. The emotion generated by mortals when their ideals fail to materialize. This I have observed. Yet when I listen to how Nashvan's sorrow served to rescue him from near-fatal despondency, his logic eludes me. Am I incapable of perceiving the full measure of the heart's properties? My best projections failed to predict our subjects' responses, and despite their almost equal occupation and mental parameters, Jinabaha and Kalzadal exhibited different reactions to the dynamis effect. I am no closer to recognizing the pattern for involuntary transformations, and your ephemeral mortal spirits confound me as much, if not more, than they did before. Oh, Fallen One, thank you for 6 gifted subs. Wow. Thank you. That's very generous. I think maybe Omega's problem isn't that they don't understand, is that they need to accept that they can't always understand. And only then will they understand. Understand? We consider that there is no pattern to the people afflicted. The hearts of others were ever shrouded in mystery. Perhaps it's time we move on to the next element you want to clarify. Yeah, maybe there is no pattern. Sometimes there is no reason. Bloop. No pattern. You imply that the transformation was not contingent on individual fortitude, but rather a random contribution of environmental factors. Not quite like that. Such a theory would explain the otherwise conflicting data. Very well, I shall accept this as a provisional conclusion to this part of my investigation. I do, however, expect you to continue supplementing my education of heart-related matters. I love these kind of stories of, like, robots, like, actualizing and discovering what it means to be human. It was my favorite part about Edie's arc in Mass Effect. It's like, Edie was like, you know, she didn't want to be like the Reapers. She discovered that she was willing to risk dying for someone and stuff like that. Edie's a cool character. Goodbye, Delta. Our next destination will be Camp Broken Glass. I desire elaboration on the dealings between the Ilsabard contingent and the citizens of Garlemald. The report described the contingent's purpose as the salvation of the local populace. Furthermore, both factions faced a common enemy in the Telophoroi. Why do they not immediately combine forces to their mutual benefit? This inconsistency requires closer examination. Victor, initiate teleportation. Alright, I guess you're ordering me around. Every party member in Mass Effect is at least decent. Yeah, except Jacob and Ashley. Yeah, Omega, you're not gonna find what you're looking for. Like, people just sometimes have their own selfish reasons for doing things, even if it's not very logical. Only that they see it as the logical conclusion. Oh, hello. Hello, Yukino. Hot chocolate. You can have night bread. I'm gonna start eating some of this food. Hamburger. Chocolate. All right. Teleportation successful. Evaluating immediate environs. Cold weather region by Aetheris standards, but significantly less extreme than a star with ice planet classification. This body should not be unduly impeded. In contrast to Alpha and his uncontrollable shivering, my frame appears highly resistant to low temperatures. Aww, look at the boy! Retrieving data. Records indicate that remnants of the contingent force and a number of Imperial citizens yet inhabit this location. We must speak with the representatives from both factions and explore their respective attitudes. Blip. Proceed. Jacob and Ashley are two wet pieces of cardboard with a couple xenophobic lines written on them. I would say Jacob is not xenophobic. Jacob is actually kind of a stand-up guy. Like, if you're to analyze him as like a person, he's fine. He's nice. Just as a character, he is far less interesting or exciting compared to anybody else. He's just kind of boring. Ashley, though, I actually dislike Ashley. I don't dislike Jacob, I just don't like him. I dislike Ashley because Ashley is actively xenophobic. Like, Jacob, like, welcomes the aliens that we pick up, the non-humans that we pick up in Mass Effect 2. Ashley's like, really, Commander? You're gonna bring a Turian along? And I'm like, how dare you disrespect Garrus Vicarian like that? But that's the point, you help her change her mind. I know that's the point, and I know that's her arc. I still don't like it. I still don't like her. I understand that that's the arc that she goes through, that she's supposed to learn to tolerate aliens and stuff like that. Still doesn't mean I need to like her.
Victor, come to see how things are progressing, have you? I can't speak for the overall strategy, but communication with the locals has become a damn sight easier since Euless and his soldiers stepped in to help. Oh, we still face our fair share of distrust, of course. Some folk even think we're enslaving minds with our foreign magics. We have Anima to thank for putting that idea in their heads. But all things considered, I'd say we're doing pretty well. Establishing an open dialogue was the first big step.
Query, you consider this level of progress acceptable? The reality of your efforts falls far short of the ideal. If your aim is to provide efficient succor to the local populace, then absorbing their number into your command structure would be the optimal path.
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. We're not looking to take over their nation. If we're to do this the right way, we need to recognize and respect each other's way of life. So while it may not be the easiest solution, I agree with the contingent's slow and steady approach. I'm just happy we're saving lives.
Yeah, Omega, it's not all about efficiency. It's Ashley's problem less with xenophobia and more the being unable to actually critically think about anything around her without someone pushing her to. Yeah, which I understand that is also her arc. Let me make it clear. It's okay to like Ashley. In fact, I'm sure a lot of Ashley fans, like, credit to the writers, they gave Ashley and Kaidan more interesting things to do in Mass Effect 3. Like, Mass Effect 3 did a lot for both of them, right? I just personally don't like Ashley all that much because that's her character, and I find that it takes a lot to get me to like that kind of character. Yeah, I can't tell the aliens from the animals, yeah. It's like, that's her arc, and that's fine, and it might even be well written. I'm just not interested in it, personally. A shadow from the past. Yes, I know. It's you from Victor Spoils. Actually, it's Victor Quibbles. Have you come to laugh at me? A wretch who chose to lose Licinia and her sister rather than accept your help? The fool who ended up reliant upon your charity nonetheless? No, not at all. I've come to help. Well, perhaps I deserve your derision. My compatriots surely scorn my failed conviction. I've shamed my people and brought dishonor upon my nation. I'm no better than a kept beast, my pride sold for a bowl of feed. But my soul, nay, that you shall not have. I refuse your honeyed offers of a new home. This land is where I belong, and this is where I shall remain. Blip. You demonstrate opposition to the contingent's overtures. On what basis do you refuse this cooperation? The data suggests the local populace is struggling to produce the bare minimum of sustenance. Have you some secret strategy for survival? Or do your orders compel you to accept your present misfortune? No, he's just got pride. Congratulations, Omega, you're learning about pride. What? Must I be mocked by a Magitech toy now? No, I have no secret strategy, no binding orders, but I comport myself as any true Garlean patriot would, uncompromising, unbending. Blast it all. Once again, this input is unanticipated. Let us move aside and process what we have heard. I never used Ashley or Caden after I get enough characters that I don't need them. Yeah, especially all Mass Effect 3. I basically had like Garrus and Liara for like all of my missions, and then when I got Tali, it was just Garrus and Tali the whole time. I felt no compulsion to bring anyone else along. Oh, hello. Sometimes Javik. Legion? Well, Legion's not available in Mass Effect 3. In Mass Effect 2, I swapped around the teammates a lot because all of Mass Effect 2's teammates are just top-notch. They're all just too good, right? But like, let's see. In Mass Effect 1, I didn't really use Jacob. I didn't really use Miranda all that much. I didn't use Zaid. But everybody else was pretty cool. I liked everybody else as team members. Javik is all right in combat. Yeah, Javik's all right, and isn't interesting enough. See, Javik is a dislikable character that I do like because he's interesting. Javik is an asshole. I hate him, but I find him fascinating. And of course, that is credit to him being being a Prothean and all. But Ashley's not afforded that same intrigue, so I guess they needed something else to make her interesting. For me, just me personally. I'm just speaking my mind. Man, I gotta stream Mass Effect. I would love to stream the Mass Effect trilogy. I played it for Echo because she had never experienced it, and we loved it. She loved it. I feel like I spoiled her because, like, Mass Effect is kind of the cream of the crop when it comes to character writing, so it's, like, all downhill from here. Javik is also a xenophobe. Yeah, because he was part of a conquering empire that basically saw everyone else as beneath him. And, of course, why wouldn't he? It worked out for him and his race, so why wouldn't he believe that, you know? At least until the Reapers hit. Anyway, we're playing Final Fantasy, not Mass Effect. Accessing and analyzing recorded data. Integration complete. That is true. Javik is less xenophobe because when during his cycle, the current sentient species were gorilla levels. Neanderthal. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. But there were aliens in Javik's cycle. And maybe he wasn't xenophobic, but he was definitely imperialist. He did still see them as lesser in that they needed to be conquered. I have evaluated this most recent input and made comparisons to our discoveries in Radzatan. Consistent only in their inconsistency, the responses from both contingent members and Imperial citizen were highly irrational. Conversely, any Omicron considering their predicaments would have echoed my assessment exactly. The divergence from self-evident logic is key. Yeah, he was Gaius van Belsar, basically. Hypothesis: the illogical relationship between would-be saviors and suffering... and would-be serviers and suffering populace is another result of the unpredictable nature of mortal hearts. Good night, KB Karma. Blip. Any property or ability has inherent advantages and disadvantages. Yet never have I encountered such a unique detriment. It appears that those who have shared your metaphysical capabilities are prone to complicating simple cognitive processes. An undesirable quality. I will, however, persist in furthering my understanding of the subject. Query. Prior to formulating our next step, I wish to know, who is this Licinia the Imperial mentioned? Oh... She was a Garlean who we offered help and lied about her dying sister, her sick sister, and traveled out into the snow because they would rather risk that than our help. Acknowledged. To summarize, insufficient data on foreign culture resulted in inadvisable and ultimately fatal action. I witnessed such self-destructive behavior during the course of our planetary conquest. Overwhelmed enemy forces would voluntarily withdraw into perilous regions, leading to a succession of inevitable losses. Tangential data request. I wish to learn about burial customs. The practice has ever seemed nonsensical, but new data suggests it arises from the same source as your cognitive complications. Take me to this Licinia's burial site. It may aid me in Energy delivery systems compromised. Core temperature critically low. Oh, he's got to heat up by the fire. Beep. Warning. Immediate heating required. Request. Apply friction to outer frame. Quick, Alpha, cuddle him. Scratch, 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 scratch. Pet, 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 pet. Rub some warmth on Omega's frame. Pet, 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 pet. Pet, 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 pet. Just hold him close, like hamburger. Blip, blip. Temperature nominal. Energy level stabilizing. The creators of this model must have experienced impaired cognitive reasoning during the design process. Alright, no need to get mean about it. Upon our return, I will request additional climate shielding, as well as an accurate temperature sensor array. This will not affect my combat capabilities, but should improve my basic survival rate. Reconfirming sub-destination. In which direction will we find Victor spoils? Well, I usually toss them in the trash can and... Oh, you mean... Okay, right. The location. Acknowledged. Alpha, you are to remain in close proximity, close enough to envelop me in your feathers. You are permitted to carry me on your back, if you so choose. Aw, piggyback ride. To Victor Spoils. Yeah, I really should stream Mass Effect. I love that game, and I love talking with you, chat, and discussing about, like, characters and stuff. I'm glad there's a lot of people in my chat who like to discuss games like I do. It's really cool. I like that you guys are analytical and willing to have reasonable, like, deep discussion and stuff. Respectfully as well. Like, it's nice that you guys say it very, like, gently and in a matter-of-fact way, and not to... Basically, I've been on Twitter a lot, and some people just, like, are just mean for no real reason. I also like to romance Tally. Who's better, Grunt or Rex? Aw, man, that's like saying what's better, like, cookies or brownies. They're different for different occasions. Grunt is my son, and Rex is my uncle. I can't choose. Blip. I say off fandoms on Twitter. It's not about fandoms. Basically, someone said something rude to me, and I responded to them, and, like, it really... Influencers, we don't know our own strength when influencers, people, content creators, people with followings, we don't know our own strength of influence. Like, it's why you see so many make mistakes and sometimes shitty takes or, like, all that stuff is we don't know our own strength sometimes when it comes to influence. And, like, sometimes we can forget that, like, responding to someone will sick lots of followers on them who might be way overzealous in defending us, to the point where one person was just, like, really, really mean to this person. Like, yeah, they were rude to me, but I was just kind of correcting them and just, like, giving my response and whatever. We can just leave it at that. But someone else just, like, flat out insulted them. And I was like, geez, calm down. That was unnecessary. And they tried to defend it, like, be like, well, I see the need, you know, the need to call out where it needs necessary. And I'm like, all right, that's fine and all. And it's okay to call out their rudeness, but you don't need to be an asshole about it, too. Jeez. I don't know. I've been thinking about making an animation about it because it's kind of funny / sad. Just how I'll be like, hey, man, that's not cool. And someone else will be like, you fucking dick. I'll kill you. I'll murder you and your family. And I'm like, no, come on. No, stop. It makes me understand why Jaden Animations really, really tries to separate her from her fans. You know, like, I want people to appreciate my stuff, but I don't know if I want fans. Yeah. A deceptively deep snowdrift almost defeated me, but we have successfully arrived at the location you indicated. Bleep. Caution advised. An unknown individual appears to be investigating the object of my interest. That's a person paying respects. Huh? You're an Eorzeus champion, aren't you? Victor Quibbles. Yeah, I've heard it all. Come on, lay it on me. I'm a monster, I killed your friends, I'm a terrorist. Oh, I never introduced myself, did I? I am Manius, soldier of the 1st Legion and comrade of Eulus. Perhaps you remember me from Terrium. We spoke about collecting ceruleum, and again later on after Lord Quintus had passed. Yeah, Volpez, it was exactly like that, yeah. Manius, explanation requested. What is the reason for your presence here? That must be the tiniest Magitech weapon no, it's just an oddly shaped communicator, isn't it? In any case, I have nothing worthy to report. I heard that the sisters who used to live in my sector were buried here, so I thought I'd come and pay my respects. Alphino and Alice told me the story, complete with profuse apologies, though they were adamant that no amount of remorse could erase the tragedy of what came to pass. Not that my fellow soldiers and I are in any place to judge. We were manipulated, fooled into starting an insurrection which led to countless deaths amongst our own countrymen. Objection. Casualties incurred through your infighting are distinct from those caused by the Ilsabard contingent. To restate that you are justified in seeking restitution from the contingent for causing the deaths of Licinia and her sister, retaliation for damages sustained is also a logical progression. I can deduce 2 reasons why you do not initiate hostilities with Victor and his allies. 1. You judge your remaining forces too weakened to contend effectively with the contingent. Alright, Omega, alright, let's not... 2. Your emotions are complicating the issue. Ooh, geez, Omega, not very tactful, are you? Tell me, which of these is correct? Well, when you lay it out like that... I'm afraid my answer isn't like to win me any medals, so would you mind keeping this to yourselves? I mean, he does have a point, but, like, it's more complicated than that, right? Like, yes, they're not fighting back because, yes, they are the weaker force. But, I don't know, maybe they accept their situation, you know? Subtle as bricks, yeah, he is still learning. I'm just like, ooh, calm down. Yeah, it's just, man, it's jarring to hear someone with no, like, emotional tact saying that stuff so matter-of-factly. He's not wrong, but, you know. There's the unspoken thought that we're outmatched on the battlefield, certainly. But the real reason I'm not demanding restitution has little to do with weight of the odds. The simple truth is, I'm so caught up with simple survival that I've no strength to spare for past grievances. The same goes for avenging my comrades we've lost, any comrades we've lost, be that my brothers in arms or Lord Quintus himself. Intelligent child, but still a child? Oh yeah. Although it seems everyone has an opinion about the manner of his passing. Some say he should have fought until the end, that he abandoned us to the enemy. Others praise him for taking the full burden of responsibility and freeing us to walk our own path. I don't know who's right or who's wrong, but I'm inclined to side with the latter. He gave us the choice of freedom, and that's the choice I made. I could carry and rant and rage, but what would be the point? I'll save my energy for worrying about my next meal, my next task. I need to focus on the ones left behind, on making some kind of life for my comrades and me. Even if I need to lean on the contingent to do that, then that's what I'll do. Even if their aid comes at a price, I'm willing to pay it. Even amongst your own, there are times when cooperation demands compromise. It would matter that they're outsiders. Besides, I think I could grow to like Alphino and Alizé. They've reached out to us with kindness and compassion from the very beginning. Summation. Your desire to survive, even should it mean allying with the contingent, was a feeling you already harbored. That your side had committed worse atrocities was the logic you invented later to justify your reasoning. I mean, yeah, in a way. Blunt but accurate, I suppose. The heart is honest about what it wants, even if the mind takes a while to reconcile that decision. Yeah, that's the thing, is like the heart takes feelings into account about how other people feel and want. Well, this has been oddly cathartic, but I must return to my duties. There are wild beasts to cull, watchfires to light, supplies to transport. Even without an emperor, there's no rest for an imperial. Be well and stay safe. Duty. Upon review of recent input, I have arrived at an unexpected conclusion. I have been formulating my assessments on the premise that it was a man who commanded the strength of his heart, but the data suggests the opposite is true. The surge of spirit, of feelings, of emotions can entangle your thoughts to such a degree that even control over your own behavior is compromised. It seems at a most counterproductive specification. This also explains why my interactions with mortal subjects have produced more confusion than clarification. It presents a formidable barrier to understanding. There you go, now you're getting it. By not getting it, you know, in a way, if that makes sense. Sometimes the heart wants what it wants, and that influences how we act. My earlier hypothesis has been borne out. The suboptimal operations being conducted here is the result of emotionally compromised reasoning. I am ready to progress to my third and final query. I would learn more about those referred to as ancients. It is clear that this group was a crucial factor of the final days, but the information contained in the report was insufficient to form an overview. The Loporrits are creations of the ancients, and are said to maintain repositories of their knowledge. By my calculations, the base of these moon dwellers will provide the best source of additional data. Teleport us to their burrow, Victor. Preferably before my batteries freeze over. We're going to Elpis? No, we're going to the moon. There we go. Blip. Your teleportation was successful. We appear to have arrived in the location described as Bestway's Burrow. An inspection of the technology in use here would give me detailed insight into the ancients and their civilization. Actually, with how Omega talked about it, could we take them with us to Elpis? I don't think we could even take them with us to the first. Because, we see them too much as individuals, even if they are technically objects, you know? This body, however, lacks my previous frame's advanced observational functionality. I will require external assistance. Because that was a factor with Beck Lug, is like when we couldn't just like, I don't know, hold on to our companions. Like, we would have to take our companions and believe them to be objects with us, which is difficult when they're walking and talking, you know? No, it can't be.
Oh, it is you! Oh, Victor, I've missed you so! What's this you've brought with you? This soft, feathery vision! We've been outfluffed! Pack up the moon! It's all over! Why bother with burrow building bunnies when you could walk around with this adorable avian engineer? Just bake me into a pie and be done with it. Aw, he's jealous. Inspect our inventions? Wait, so you're not done with us? Ha! I was truly worried, of course, and I certainly wasn't about to roll myself in dough and dive into Cookingway's new oven. If a technical breakdown is what you need, then I'm your loprit. As the resident atmospheric regulations expert, I can find any questions or query you might care to pose. Bleep. Acceptable. I will employ this being to guide me around the facilities. Your presence is not mandatory. Even locked with my current chassis, I am still an autonomous construct that has endured hundreds of your life cycles. I am capable of completing this simple objective alone. He flips over, he's like, help, assistance required. While his legs are just skittering in the air. Require assistance, require assistance, require assistance. Objective complete. What happened to Growing Way? After my 15th question, his response began to suffer noticeable delays. Wait, 50th? Oh god, 50th? I thought that said 15th, it's 50th. By that stage, we had viewed a representative cross-section of Loprit engineering. Thus, I deemed it unnecessary to retain his company. Conclusion. Extrapolating from the fraction of technology on display, the full spectrum of the ancients' advancements was, at minimum, equivalent to a level 4 civilization. A fact which demands further investigation. Despite establishing a near ideal society, these beings nevertheless harbored a weakness which invited self-destruction. In studying them, I stand to gain a greater understanding of Sir's anomalous decision. Man, I forget how much reading that I have to do in 14. I'm starting to get a little parched in the lungs. Growing Way informed me that another type of ancient-made entity exists upon this satellite, the one they call the Watcher. I would speak to him. I have been hydrating. I should refill my cups, though. I went through 2 whole cups. I'll refill after this. You can then conserve your ether. We will ride this Argus to our destination, as you have suggested. Dog, 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 fly, fly, fly. Dog, 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 moon, moon, moon. Yeah, I'm gonna go refill on water. I'll be right back. Return with more hydrate. Oh, dog of the rock, what is your wisdom? Gotta think. What is your wisdom? Pa, hapapa, haparakatapa, haparakataka, pa, hapapaka, hapapakataka. Ha! How
Bloop. Impotence detected. The creature identified as Argus refuses to acknowledge our presence. Phone, why are you still making noise? Stop. There we go. That should work. Hypothesis. Upon our arrival, Growingway expressed concern that he had been outfluffed. This suggests the existence of a fluff-based hierarchy. My station in such a system would be predictably low, but Argus is adamant in ignoring even Alpha. Its fluffiness level is impossible to gauge. Argus turns to you with an impassive gaze. It seems you will need to intervene. You're the fluffiest of them all, dear Argus. Don't worry, they won't outfluff you. Argus gives an exasperated snort before motioning to his back. It seems you have permission to climb aboard. Bloop. You have secured the creature's permissions. Curious. Is it your fluffy tail which provides such exemplary standing in this hierarchy? Oh my gosh, he acknowledged that I'm a Makote. I have allowed myself to become distracted. Let us continue on the Watcher at once. I wonder what he says if you're for different races. Viera's ears. What if you're an Aura? You have no fluff. My tail is kind of fluffy. I picked the fluffiest one. Look, I picked the fluffy tail. Hrothgar are very fluffy. Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh, look, it's John Final Fantasy. Meteor Aetheris. It really is John Final Fantasy. Look at that. I was bemused by the arrival of these small visitors, but I see they are companions of yours. What a rare thing for my abode to be thus crowded. How may I be of service to you? Hello, Watcher. My purpose here is to learn more about the ancients. Oh, Omega said hi! Maybe he is becoming human. I would know of their deeds, their philosophies, the very nature of their hearts. I would understand why the final days was visited upon my home star. A worthy endeavor. But there is another better suited to assisting you with that task. Perhaps you might favor us with a tale or two of the ancients you met during your travels, Victor. My fragmented memories would be a pale substitute indeed for the clarity of your more recent experiences. Yo, so Heidelin is mommy as fuck. She's very tall and cool, actually cool too. She likes to fight and listen to stories, and she's really sassy as well. Oh, and Hermes, and Heathlodeus, and Hades. They're all very handsome, and very sweet and kind. Hades still had kind of a stick up his butt, but he was cool. We like to mess with him, prank him around. We threatened to transform, which is essentially the equivalent of going naked in their society. Yes, I can envision every detail. Your meeting with Vana and Emet-Sauk and Heathlodeus. The sorrow and determination of Hermes. I wonder if the ancients were still technically using their weird language, but they made us perceive it as normal speech for relatability reasons. I don't know if there's a lore explanation because we're able to understand them even before they size us up. But I don't think there needs to be an explanation. It's just convenience for the story that we understand them. There doesn't need to be an explanation. If I were to be, like, theory-based, if I were to be put a charitable theory, I would say either the Echo or Elidibus implemented something in the transportation that allowed us to understand the ancient's knowledge, since he himself is partly ancient. It's part of the echo that we can comprehend any spoken words. Yeah, so it's a cop out explanation. It's like, oh, the echo. Yeah, see, this is what I mean by the echo has always been a plot device, but it's for convenience, right? We don't need that, like, we don't need to have all that complications about language. It doesn't really add to the story, so why have it, right? The real reason, the real reason is because it's convenient. The in-lore reason is kind of a cop out answer, but it doesn't need to be satisfying, but yeah. I am a creation of Hydaelyn, and as such, I believe the age of the ancients would fade and be forgotten. Yet, knowing that their memory lives so vividly within you, it brings me great joy. I pray you keep them close to your heart. Probably one of those don't think about it things, yeah. There is some inkling of an explanation, but it's mostly a don't think about it because it's not important to the story that it's explained. Yeah. Insert message conveying joy to streamer here. Bleep boop. Thank you, Draconian. Like, that's not to say that I excuse all plot holes. Like, Echo can speak to this, that I scrutinize stories all the time, but I think I have a decent understanding about what is important and what's not. You know, what is important enough that needs explaining when it's so relevant to the plot, or what isn't, and just for convenience sake. Yeah. At the time of your journey to the past, the one whose essence I embody would have been a scholar at Enida. A shame. Had you reason to go there, perhaps you might have met. As a man of learning, he was firm friends with Vana. They spent long hours trading theories, or debating the laws of the universe. I remember joining her faction as the final days bore down upon us. Yet of the events surrounding that tragedy, I recall precious little. Hydaelyn wished for the people of your age to decide their own path. Thus, I suspect my recollection was limited by design. Yet even she could not cut away one persistent memory. I feel most distinctly his sadness at what was to come to pass, that in becoming Hydaelyn's heart, Vana would forever stand apart from the people she so loved. If she were so resolved in her convictions, then he too would share her sleepless vigil over the future yet to unfold. Thus was the vow he made to Vana as her transformation took hold. His fervent wish must have reached her in some fashion, for though his life was drained away by the summoning, he was born with new form and given new purpose when I awoke as the Watcher of the Moon. And you heard, Victor, you felt, you thought. Almost. And in seizing the future for yourselves, have you brought full circle the saga which Vana began. What you accomplished was no divine miracle. It was but the beacon of hope passed down from one generation to the next, a succession of wishes and prayers reshaping the star into the world we knew you deserved. You have our deepest gratitude. I thank you not only as myself, but as the man I once was, and on behalf of those who devoted themselves to Vana's vision. Bloop, boop, bloop. I understand the facts of your story, Victor. But now, how you have chosen to proceed to process them. On what grounds do you speak of Vana with such fondness? By sundering the world, she ultimately guided your kind to victory. yet in doing so caused irreparable damage to its individual members. The full scale of that act is beyond calculation. It is evident, however, that it resulted in a protracted period of suboptimal existence for Emmett Selk and his brethren. Yeah, they're acknowledging, like, they even acknowledge this in Endwalker's actual story, that Vana made a flawed decision, but she felt it was the right decision at the time. Like, whether or not she's right or wrong, her decision may not have been the best one. And Omega is acknowledging that. Like, that she sacrificed her people and basically imperfected society on purpose. She added pain and sadness and disease and awful shit into the world. It's kind of like opening Pandora's box, right? She opened Pandora's box. But it was all in attempts to save the world from Dynamis and, you know, the inevitability of the end of the universe that kind of all the other societies had found after they found perfection. She knew that in order to save us, she needed to make us imperfect. Yeah, original sin. She needed to make us imperfect, to give us suffering and all that, so that we wouldn't, like, stagnate in perfection as the ancients were heading towards it. It is a very, very interesting moral quandary. Yeah. That's a good... Yeah, henceforth he shall walk is a great line. I hate Vana after learning of her in Endwalker. Well, I feel maybe... It's okay if you don't like her, but I feel like you may be missing the point of Vana and her decision to make us flawed and suffer. Because all other societies, according to Medion, the other societies that the other Medions had encountered, they were perfect societies with no suffering and no pain, and they reached the conclusion that nothing matters, and so they basically destroyed themselves. And Vana didn't want that, you know? I guess maybe there would be another conclusion, but Vana concluded that the way to prevent us from reaching the same fate was to imperfect us. You can take that or leave it, but that is my reading of the story, because and we see all those other perfect societies, the Omicrons, the Ea, the Ea, whatever. Like, they all found basically perfection, and thus found nihilism and, like, no reason to live or exist any further. But for the same reason that Vana wanted to keep existing on Etheris, or on in that place, not Etheris, the zoo place, she enjoys life. She wants things to keep living. And yeah, that's how I read it. Maybe I am trying to convince you to see, but I don't think she's a villain. She made a flawed decision, but I don't think there was any objectively right decision, you know? Because my question to you would be, what other choice did she have, right? Because if not destroyed the same way other civilizations would be, I feel as though the ancients would have been destroyed by Zodiark and eventually wiped out. Because what other decision was there, you know? Because I don't see any other method that would have been great. I mean, that's fine. You can come to your own conclusions. I am trying to convince you, but ultimately, whether or not you're convinced is up to you, and totally fine. It is a fictional story, and we all read different things from it, and every reading is valid, and we're okay. It's okay to disagree with them. Also, thank you for the bits. You didn't need to give those. The full scale of that act is beyond calculation. It is evident, however, that it's resulted in a protracted period of suboptimal existence for Emmett Selk and his brethren. Query. If the survival of our kind is the deciding factor in your evaluation, then should you not also admire Hermes for his decision to subject man to a trial, forcing you to change or perish, as was the fate of countless civilizations before you? From my perspective, his determination was similar to that of the Omicron's ancestors, those who first began trading flesh for machine, so that our people might stand against the onslaught of aggression from other races. It was an unprecedented attempt accompanied by much failure and sacrifice. Their entire experiment was crude, primitive. Had they not made those first advances, however, we would have remained vulnerable to our environment. The violence would have utterly consumed us. And what of Emmett Selk himself? Judging by your retelling, he was a benevolent ally saddled with tragic fate. I always thought he was saddled with Hythlodaeus. Anyway. Yet I remember the years when my instruments fed me data from events across the entire star. During that time, I witnessed his Asian engineer multiple instances of cataclysmic strife. These calamities, as you know them, were responsible for planet-wide destruction. A man whose endgame relied upon the extinction of all modern mortals must, by definition, be your worst enemy. I mean, yes, he was. But we would do the same. I require an answer. As a being of heart and soul, how do you classify each of these pivotal figures? From your perspective, which of them was most justified in their actions? They all had... yeah. In my personal opinion, from my perspective, they all were. They all had basically the best of intentions. Vina wanted life to continue and not reach an inevitable conclusion and end like all the other societies, even if that costed basically perfection. Hermes wanted, people to prove themselves on their own volition without the knowledge. He wipes everyone's memory so that it would be a fair fight, for our survival, because having this knowledge kind of gives us a leg up. And the flaw in that is that getting this knowledge is the leg up. It has proved that we can be better, but he wanted us to come to that conclusion naturally, and that's why he wiped everyone's memories. And in a way, he is also right, What good are we if we would reach the same conclusion as everybody else, right? Without their influence. And Emmett as well, willing to do whatever it takes to bring back his people, even if there's a chance. Whether or not he's right doesn't matter. There was a chance in his heart. Even if it's the slimmest of chances, he was willing to take it, if it meant seeing his friends again. I think all of them were in some way. I think I understand. You seek a definitive answer, yet based on our experiences, Victor and I might develop very different opinions. In the same fashion, you are free to form your own thoughts on the matter. Do not be so swift to consider them without merit. I do not have my own thoughts on the matter. I assess each situation with the same logic pathways available to every Omicron. Even if 1,000 Omicrons were asked to analyze the same event, they would all return the same result, regardless of individual experience. There is no strength to be found in fractured reasoning. Nonetheless, I find your input valuable, recording data alongside interviews results. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, how I would describe, if I could describe Emmett in one word, it would be hope. Emmett does all of this, did all of the shit that he did, killed countless civilizations, murdered trillions of people, based on the hope, the slimmest of hope, that it might bring back his people. Does it make him right? No. He's a tragic villain, you know? He is tragedy. It's a sad story, and honestly, if we're to pin any responsibility on who should be fixing all of this problems, it should be Emmett. He caused all this. He should be cleaning it up. But, you know, this is a story. This is a fictional story. And of course, it's not about that. But, yeah. Emmett is not redeemed, but he has understandable motivations. Duty bound. Yeah. Duty bound is another good one. Yeah. Thank you for the 27 months. He is what the hero becomes when they fail for too long. Oh, yeah. A good villain doesn't need to be redeemed? I agree. Agreed. Yeah. And I firmly believe, some people might disagree with me, but I firmly believe Emmett was not redeemed. And I don't think he has to be. I think he is okay, and his arc is concluded, and his story's done. And they ended it perfectly. He's not redeemed, but he is concluded, and I like it. Emmett's so fucking cool. I love Emmett. This concludes my investigation into the incomplete elements of the final day's report. I will reanalyze the accumulated information and examine the factors which led into Sir's incomprehensible decision. Beep. Let us return to Thomazine. He just needed to finally let go, yeah. Duty roulette restore the ancients. I don't know if that's great or awful. Helen said in the end he was reunited with his friends. Oof. He tried to, by the rules of his seat of the convocation, but also we have the potential of becoming villains ourselves. Yeah, of course. Whoa! What is this? Also, thank you, Okami. You know, you can talk without having to send me bits, but I still appreciate it. I am reading chat, don't worry. I do sometimes miss it, but I do read chat. I appreciate it, though. What is this hat? What is this? What is this? Ooh. I look like one of those, like, really condescending artists at, like, galleries. So I look like myself. I look like me. I look like what I sound like when I talk about video games. Amazing. Thank you, Helen. All right. Back to Thomazine. You just don't understand my art. There's such a deep message in this, so I understand why you guys wouldn't understand it. I know it's totally okay that some of it will go over your head. I'm just really that good at literacy reading. That would be a really cool, like, what-if scenario if we decided to side with the Asians and, like, went and, like, started destroying the other reflections. I would love a what-if, like, non-canon style story about if we joined Emmett Selk and, like, basically returned all the reflections into the rejoining, and what would happen. I would love to see what would actually happen. My theory is that it wouldn't work, and Zodiark would just consume the universe, essentially. Just keep pulling more and more ether, or eventually Zodiark would run into the Endsinger, and the Endsinger would destroy Zodiark. Because Dynamis is more powerful than ether. And Zodiark is a primal, which is made up of ether, you know. Ah, ultimate! That would be a cool ultimate! Ah, imagine Shadowbringer's ultimate, where we help the Asians. Wow. we fight the Sin Eaters, consume their Sin Eater soul, become a Sin Eater ourselves, and like kill the Scions and like fucking go to the other reflections and destroy them. And then we fight Ultimate Zodiarch. Zodiarch would resurrect everyone, but they'd be like the Ananta chieftain's daughter. Yeah, they'd just be zombies. They would be tempered.
Ah, there you are. Right at the last moment. Your journey with Omega was properly educational, I hope. We'd planned to ask you all about it and the mystery transmission besides, but I'm afraid something urgent has come up. Seems one of our Ironworks associates has fouled up a job elsewhere, and Jesse needs Wedge and me to rush in and lend a hand. There's an airship already waiting for us out in the harbor, in fact. Do you think you could escort us over there and talk as we walk? Blip. Acceptable. I'm fully capable of speech during ambulation. I figured you might be. Right. Let's get a move on then.
Ah, the Ultima Thule theme.
So, you've cleared up all those points of confusion then?
I had mistakenly classified your intangible heart as an ability of some kind. An uncanny power that Omicrons could neither learn nor even measure. Even now, it is full nature, yet eludes my comprehension. Based upon our investigations, however, I have decided to alter my definition. A phenomenon which influences one's interpretation of reality. That's good, actually. That is as close to an answer as I have found. Accordingly, Sir's actions upon meeting Meteon strongly indicated the presence of a heart. Sir did not follow routine logic, but formulated an independent assessment based upon the reality it perceived. It felt that the best recourse for the Omicrons was to cease their expansion and terminate all functions. And fire and fade. Well, here's our ship. Aye, we'll be needed to get going, but first, I'll hold you to your bargain, Omega. It's time you told us what was in the transmission from the flight logs. Beep. Acknowledged. I will uphold the terms of our agreement. The recording salvaged from the Ragnarok was a simple one. The message is so basic, in fact, that the time spent listening to it may result in a net loss of value. Shall I continue? No, you're just teasing! Tell us the message already! Acknowledge. Converting dialect code to local language. To whomever receives this message out there in the vast reaches of the cosmos, to someone, I hope, who looks up at the stars with the same wistful gaze as mine. To you I say, forge ahead. May all our tomorrows be blessed with joy. This message had no designated recipient. It lacks purpose. The concept of joy is overly abstract. The vocal supplication to manifest said joy is unrealistic in its optimism. Yet, based upon their expressions, my assessment of the transmission's value conflict with its apparent impact. And still, I fail to understand you, sir. Your heart still confuses me. What termination of everything? Was termination of everything the correct course? How did you arrive at this conclusion? It defies all my attempts at reasoning. But I was designed to evolve. If I continue to learn, the probability that I eventually comprehend this phenomenon is greater than 0. So I will put the dilemma of your decision aside for now. And continue my existence upon this distant star. As I dwell among these many life forms, so I will continue to piece together the complete shape of their mortal hearts. I must document their progress. This is the best game! This is the best game! This is a side quest. Your contribution to my education is appreciated, Victor. Indeed, I have amassed a satisfying quantity of valuable data. Now that our negotiated business is complete, however, Alpha and I will return to the traveling world. Drawing on recent experiences, I am confident that we can expand the radius of our ventures by a significant margin. Oh, that's right, I've seen screenshots of them showing up in Garlean and stuff. We need not limit ourselves to Eorzea. I am now familiar with Garlean and Radzatan, and would also like to revisit the freezing climates of Garlean. I neglect to instruct Biggs and Wedge to upgrade my climate shieldings. I will reroute my request to Deputy President Jesse. Engaging ambulation and parting salutations. Farewell, Victor. Aw, he forgore. Alpha gives a vigorous shake and draws forth a scrap of paper from under his wing. A card? It seems he wants you to have it. Perhaps this is his way of thanking you. Ooh, flow together orchestration. Hold on, I need to listen to this. Got the music playing in the house. Thank you, Zeke. Swiftly, Alpha. The road is long, and we have barely begun our journey. Aw, I'm gonna go listen to it. Oh, whoops. Yeah, so someone mentioned earlier, I didn't get a chance to respond because I was reading the dialogue, but like, it's funny the parallels between Vanna's decision and Emmett's. Vanna destroyed this perfect world to create a flawed one so that life could continue on existing. Whereas Emmett tried to destroy all the flawed world to bring back the perfect one. And in his mind, that would continue on existing. But like Vanna, I feel has the more informed decision because she sees, she heard what happened to so many perfect civilizations, right? Vanna is the one that has the more informed decision, which Emmett admits. Oh, it's the band version, yes! This is the one that we hear when we're dueling Vanna. Yes! My brave little star. I love this version. Flow together. This is great. Alright, just gonna turn it down a little bit so I can discuss my thoughts on, more thoughts on Vanna. Sacrificing half the population to create a god also isn't necessarily a thing you do when you're on the right side of history as well. Yeah, well that's the thing, right? Is like, I think you're right to criticize Vanna. However, what is the correct choice there, right? Like, I feel like Vanna made a difficult choice, but there was no good choice to make, right? They voluntarily sacrificed themselves. Still, like, Vanna the hypocrite just for that choice. I don't know if it makes her a hypocrite. It was voluntary, but then they had to sacrifice more, and where would it stop, right? Like, I feel as though, let's say they have to sacrifice, where does it end, right? And like, would it just keep going until the point where there's only one ancient left? You know? And it brings in the question of, what are they saving? If they're sacrificing themselves to save themselves, you know, there needs to be something left to save, right? That's my perspective, anyway. Yeah, I see Zodiark as a negative spiral, as like, okay, they sacrificed themselves to Zodiark to protect the world, but then the world was like kind of deprived of ether, so then they have to sacrifice more and more. Where does it end, right? I feel like there was no right answer, and I don't know that makes... I would like to hear what makes Hydaelyn a hypocrite. I guess that's part that I don't really understand. Because yes, she did sacrifice all of them, but it was to preserve life as a whole, right? Because she saw where life was heading. Medion's, hold on, this is still too loud. I feel as though hearing Medion's report was a sign that their society was heading the direction that all those other societies were. And Vanna was willing to make the initial big sacrifice early so life could continue past those other civilizations. That's how I see it, is like Vanna's thinking of the long, long, long term. It's the trolley problem, essentially. Like, Vanna chose to kill the one to save the, you know, whatever, long term. Maybe it's not a great one-to-one analogy because she, quote-unquote, killed everyone, but she did create new life that would exist beyond the ancients. Jungle. Going to let new life flourish and sacrifice them to bring that. Yeah. Basically, my question is, what was the better choice there? It's like, okay, you can criticize what she did, but what other choice did she have if she wanted to preserve life as a whole, right? Which is why I think this writing is great. It's because it's such a gray area thing that we can come to so many different conclusions and beliefs so firmly. I think that's an indication of good writing. Apparently the crossover they did with Nier mobile game. Okay, I guess I would like to ask you, Okami, what do you think would have been the better choice? Like, yes, she did perform a very similar thing to the Asians, but she did not ask for more sacrifices like Zodiark did. So my question now is, okay, let's say what she did was wrong and she shouldn't have done it. What should she have done? Yeah, so I feel it's unfair to say she did the same thing, as indicated by the fact that she did not ask for more sacrifices like Zodiark did. I firmly don't believe it's the same. Maybe I can visualize it. I know some people are more visual people, so maybe I'll visualize it. Here, you're gonna say hi to Giga Chad Hildibrand real quick. So here, we're gonna do a little drawing together. Little drawing thing. Where's my pen? Where the hell is my pen? Where'd I put it? There it is. Okay. I can draw? Yes, I can draw. Giga Chad Hildibrand, yeah. All right, so here's how I see it. We're gonna mark Zodiark with black because, you know, darkness and stuff. Actually, purple. I like purple. So we're gonna mark Zodiark with purple, right? The followers of Zodiark as like a bunch of purple little dots, right? And we're gonna mark Hydaelyn, the ancients of Hydaelyn, as the white. So let's say we go with Zodiark's plan, right? We sacrifice half the population, so now it's less people, and then we sacrifice more half of the population to fix whatever the thing was with that one. Now there's even less. And then, oh, now we have to sacrifice half again because of the thing that happened there, because, you know, we're tempered by Zodiark and blah, blah, blah. Okay, now there's one. What have we saved, right? What life have we saved if there's only, like, one ancient left? You know, what are they preserving if they have to sacrificing themselves? It's the whole thing of, like, we have to have something to fight for. Right? We have to have something to save, otherwise then what's the point, right? Whereas with Hydaelyn, it's like, okay, sacrifice all of them, and then now there is new life, as represented by all these different colors, new life. This is all the sundered people, the flawed, different people of the reflections that live and are imperfect, mortal people that will walk. They will no longer be on wings. They will walk. And then they continue forever. No sacrifices like this need to be made. Yeah, to fuel the shield, they needed people. This is how I see it. And if you're still not convinced, then I guess there's not much I could say to change your mind. But this is how I see it, personally. It's like, this is Hydaelyn kind of making the big sacrifice early so that life can continue to live on, albeit flawed life, but continue on. Whereas the Zodiarch path is coming to an eventual end where there's nothing left save probably one ancient. And yeah, maybe the people here would eventually destroy themselves through war and famine and whatever other thing. But that would have been their choice, freely made, right? That would have been... Although, yes, these are their choice as well. It's like, there's a chance. It's just like with Emmett and bringing people back, right? There is a chance that this one could still exist, however slim. With how flawed these people are, however slim, there's a chance this one will continue to exist and life will go on. Whereas this one inevitably ends in just total destruction and annihilation, where there is just nothing left, save maybe one ancient. Anyway, that's my perspective. Yeah. She went full Hail Mary throw? Basically, yeah. Maybe there are still people who believe what she did was wrong and she could have done something better. But I think that's credit to the writing, the fantastical writing of this game, that there is so much open to interpretation. I don't think the fact that Hydaelyn won... Well, maybe. I was going to say, I don't think the fact that Hydaelyn won is an indication that she was right, but maybe it was. But you're free to disagree with it. I don't know. Maybe I'm taking all this too seriously. I love this story. I love this game. It's great. And I've been going for a little bit. I'm hungry. So I think this is a good place to call the stream with band flow going in the background. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm sorry we didn't have more Hildibrand to do. But thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to look for someone to raid. Let's see. Yeah, Vana never helped the Vana faction. Or rather, Azam, not Vana. Azam never helped the Vana faction. Azam just kind of went to go and do their own thing. Let's see. Yeah, Azam just left. Azam was just like, peace. Yo, you guys want to give love to a fantastic person who does fantastic things? Teasen, my editor for several of my videos, as well as Necrohunt, is currently streaming him editing a video right now. So let's rate him. It was recently his birthday as well. What shall our raid message be? What do you think? What shall our raid message be? Editor raid? Queh! Yeah, let's say Queh. Just K-W-E-H. Queh. Queh! Alright. Thank you for joining me, everybody. Queh.